We will be off in just a second though, because I didn't start this little recording first. Okay, you guys. Hello, everyone, and welcome. I'm Jeneth Blackert.
And I'm Leonka Reina.
This is the How Hustle Mystic Morning Show. Today, we're starting off with Michelle Niver. We're going to talk a little bit about out of body experiences and 5D manifestation.
Yeah, exciting. I mean, we have had an amazing summit so far. So today you're joining us on day 4 for the Whispers of Oneness Summit, what we like to call your community go-to for woo.
Mhm.
Jenna, tell me a little bit about what you're, just real quickly, so that we can catch people up and get them
I,
excited about watching some of the
oh my
replays here.
goodness,
Uh,
so
what
much.
has been a takeaway for you?
My biggest takeaway is that I talk about being, but it's truly being that frequency of being.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it kept coming up in various shows. And then
Yeah.
it's really about allowing life to show up and allowing our noise of our brain, our thoughts of our brain to show up. What would you say yours is?
Mine was about finding that true terminology where we have programs that are running,
Mhm.
right? And what really speaks to that. And that's why we do in our work a lot of the questioning, because you really want to get to the energy of what is running in the background subconsciously so that we can
Yes.
unprogram some of those thoughts. But sometimes we think it's maybe like an unworthiness or something else. And it really is, you got to get to the crux of it, right? So you got to get in there, and so we do that with a lot of questioning. And I thought that was very interesting as a through point from a lot of different speakers as
It
well.
definitely
Yeah.
was. All right, you guys, just a couple things today. We do have, and thank you guys a bunch yesterday, sent in your little, yes, I would like to have a session from me or Leonka. She does QHHT. I do traditional hypnotherapy, but it's really more like a Arcturian dragon hypnotherapy these days.
Yeah.
So if you'd like a session for us, all you need to do is comment on our Instagram or our YouTube and then send us a screenshot and send it to team at How Hustle or just reply to one of our newsletters.
That's right. And also, we have a VIP that you can upgrade to. And the VIP is really cool because not only do you get this summit, but you get the past 7 seasons and you get any future summits. And we usually do summits like at once every quarter. So it's a really great way to support the show, to support you, because we believe that the work really builds on each other. And we also like to log our whispers. Where do we log our whispers at?
We log our whispers in our free community, and that is at community.houthustle.com. Or if you are on that live page that we keep sending you, it says chat in our free community, and you can go ahead and click on that link and join our free community.
All right, you guys, let's get started with today.
Yes, we're just going to keep on flowing today. We are starting today with Michelle Niver, who has continually been on our summit. In fact, she's been on them so much that I tried to not invite her. And then it was like I had a spot open and it was like her name showed up everywhere. And I was like, well, so I think I messaged you and I said, I think this spot might be for you.
Yeah,
You want it?
I know, because sometimes we like to give a little bit of time between,
Yeah, we
so
like
that
to not
integrate.
have the same summit every single time because we love the people so much.
But I knew that it was when she said that you were going to be on, I was like, yeah, that was her spot. It really was.
Yeah.
Oh, well, thank you.
And for the new people, will you kind of just give us, you don't have to go into the big backstory. We can point them to your old interviews, but just a little bit about how you got into this work, because I really think that it humanizes who we are, and it's inspiring.
Mhm.
I had a sudden psychic awakening and I couldn't work in my nursing job anymore. It was, I just couldn't do it one more day. I quit on a whim. I went to massage school on a whim and I started doing massages. And through many quiet hours working on people and quiet in my mind to do their massages, I realized spirits were talking to me.
Yeah.
When I was a
Yeah.
kid, I had out-of-body experiences. I've had them my whole life. I didn't understand what they were until I was an adult and found some other people who were talking about it, like Robert Monroe. And
Mm,
so it just over time, told more and more people, whoever would listen to me about what I was picking up on, I told them about it and I kept track of it. And after about 6 months, I realized it was very real that not only did I have psychic abilities, but we really all had them. I started researching like the science behind it, and now I do psychic readings for people, but I love to do psychic development mentoring and help people figure out who they are as a
Yes.
spirit in a human body in this life and what they're here to do.
yeah.
Yeah,
D-
that is one of my favorite things about this work as well. Uh, Spirit has been telling me in channeled message that one of the most imperative things that we are to do is really learn to work with our own abilities, our own psychic abilities, and that we'll be able, this is how we're going to navigate the next phase. It's almost like our GPS, and we really need to start to turn that on and understand and trust that. Are you receiving that same message, and how do you really work with people in order to do that?
I'm receiving the exact same message as you
Yeah,
are, Leonka.
it was
It's
like
been
they gotta do this, and y'all, and I, to me, it was like, and this is your mission. I was like, okay, I'm doing it. I know.
It's
Yeah.
my mission too. And a lot of people are suddenly interested in their own
Yes.
abilities and they're
Yes.
realizing, oh my gosh, I have these feelings about things and they're right, or I know something. I don't know how I know it. And it happens. Or I said this really incredible thing to somebody and I don't know how I said it or where that came from. And it was totally what they needed to hear, right? They're channeling.
Yes.
And
Same.
so people are like, oh, I'm talking to ETs. And nobody ever told me that could happen. And people are having out of body experiences where they're meeting with departed loved ones and non-human entities. And so there's this big awakening happening. And at the same time, there's this energetic shift that we don't see with our physical body so much, just like I don't see the energy coming out of my cell phone, but it's there.
Yeah.
And the realm is changing. And I think that our DNA is changing. We are changing. We know about
Yes.
epigenetics and light affects our DNA and sound
Yes.
affects our DNA. And so all of that is changing. We're in a place right now of unprecedented cosmic radiation. We have more energy and information coming in than we've ever had in human history.
mhm.
And the key to moving forward with what we call the ascension or the rise in vibration is to learn to navigate with our psychic abilities. Every single person has psychic abilities. It's part of who you are. It's part of your navigation system for this human incarnation, but it's subtle and they don't teach us to use it when most people, at least when we're little. And so when we grow up, we feel crazy when we start talking about it. And so many people just in mainstream professions that never would talk about this to their coworker, talk to me about it. Everyone talks about it that I talk to.
Yes,
And
nowadays, right?
yeah,
And
it's
even in the last, I feel like the last year, especially with the release of the CIA files, I think people were really like noticing, like, oh my gosh, not only was this a psyop to keep this under wraps, but the government knew about it. They were investing in it. They were also a true, which makes them a believer, which also allows us in a collective level to open our awareness to having this be true, right? And that on and of itself means that we've tipped past another point. I love when you shake your head and you're like, mm-hmm.
I'm on board with all of that. I agree with you. And
Mhm.
back to it normalizes it to the point that people can
Yes.
talk about it now. It's like on the news now, we can talk about it.
Yes.
And with regard to what you said about it's the time to be using our psychic abilities, vibrational matching. So we have all this new energy coming in to our reality that's there to help upgrade our system. And we won't accept it into our systems the same way unless we do raise our vibration. And in order to understand the difference between psyops and what's really coming from spirit and from
Yes.
interdimensional beings, we need to have some discernment with what's coming right now and what's already happening. And you all have those psychic abilities that can do that, but we have to practice them. So a key to moving into that ascension is to raise your vibration and also to be discerning about where to go.
I just remembered when you were talking right now about the psyops, and I'll let Jenna chime in here in just a second. But one thing that really I received in channeled message just over the last couple of days was not only will the discernment be important for understanding and navigating the psyop. But because of AI having so much like fake everything and digitized experiences, that it will be imperative, is the word that they use, that we use our discernment and go within to actually navigate what's real and what's fake. And so that will be another way in which that will, those who do that faster will flourish faster as well. Not that you can't, but it will be a much more guided experience, as opposed to maybe falling a pitfall with some of the fake AI stuff. And it's almost going to be like you can't tell the difference, and so you will have to go within to get that information.
Yeah, I think we're already there.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
Mm.
right.
It's the
But
only
it'll be
way to
even
really know.
faster. It'll
It
be like,
will.
yeah,
It ex
wow.
it will accelerate things because you won't have all these competing thoughts in your mind about what's real, what's not real. You'll
Yeah,
just be tuning into what's coming through from your guides and from your higher self.
Yeah,
And
from
when you quiet that noise, it allows the signal from the spirit world to come through more cleanly. If you've got a lot of noise about all these different things, like maybe that are on the news or different things that people are saying, it's hard to really hear and discern what's going on. And so quieting the mind is a key to discernment, and it's also a key to letting your psychic abilities come through cleanly.
yeah. I've been starting to look at ourselves as an infinite being. And whenever I even use the word myself, realize how contracted down that is in the definition from all the stories and all the narratives and all the collective and all the other noise, right? I truly call this clearing the noise. And when we go and we become that open spaciousness of what an infinite being is, we can really choose and have discernment from that viewpoint. I feel like I want to open up the conversation, Michelle, and let you really talk about us being and creating as these spacious beings with less narratives and point of view and who I am and who I'm not as an identity.
Yeah, I would love to talk about that. And it's actually one of the reasons that I love exploring psychic abilities and expanded awareness and out of body states because those things allow us to realize that we are so much larger than what this physical presentation is.
Hmm.
It's just, it's such a small part of who we are. Like that myself you talked about when you said it, I was like, yeah, it's just this little part of us here.
Yeah, it's like
And
point to yourself and it's like this little itty bitty thing.
Yeah. Compared to who we really are as this
right.
expanded consciousness that has full control outside of this human body. We came here to experience what we aren't, and that is restricted. And we're not restricted outside of here. We are spacious, as you said, and we are able to, with our intentions, just create and change things on a very quick level that we can't do here. So when we're here, we have that restricted viewpoint of not just us, but the world around us. And like I said before, there's like all these competing signals about what do I do? What do I do? I don't know what to do. And people aren't looking inside very much because maybe they don't know how or they don't know they're supposed to. But you could think of it like this: when there's all those competing signals, think about like a building that you want to push down, and there's different people in all different directions on the building, and they're all pushing from different directions. The building's not going to do anything, right? It's just getting pressure on it all over the place. It's just going to stay the way that it is. But if everyone, or if all of your thoughts are congruent, you're pushing from one area, you're moving forward and you're accelerating. So getting rid of the noise by not trying to control, by trying not to control everything in your life and letting things happen and following the signs and taking the next steps without needing to know how it's going to turn out allows that alignment to happen. It's entropy reduction, it's reduction of chaos. And when chaos reduces, coherence forms, and coherence creates good health and psychic abilities.
Hmm.
So, and
And
that's
so
how we
much more than
manifest.
that as well. It
Right.
also creates kindness on this planet through oneness and, people feeling these euphoric ways.
Right.
Hmm.
And when people combine that, it changes the world. But in terms of manifestation, you can think of like the building where you're coming from one place to push it down, that's your manifestation. But if all your thoughts are just all over the place and you're trying to create something, it's not going to move very well. So
Right.
coming from that place of not having a bunch of competing thoughts about how it may be, like, okay, I want to do this, but what if it doesn't work out? Or what if I don't have the money to do it? Or what if people don't like it? Or all that stuff is noise. And so instead, you get the signal from spirit, which could come as an urge to do something. You say, not really sure how I'll do that, but I'll take a step towards it and I'll quiet my mind around it so that I'm not thinking all of the time and creating more noise, more energetic signals to interfere with my forward momentum.
Mm.
So that is what people call creating in 5D really is the ability to quiet the human mind that tries to take over all of the information from spirit and make a story out of it.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes. Because once we start making that story, it then, if you look at quantum physics, it then it's observing something. And once you observe, you collapse down that wave particle. And so you make it dense again. And so it doesn't have the ability to have that infinite possibility anymore.
Yeah,
It doesn't,
you take away those probabilities and you
yes,
condense it down into one single thing that happens. Mhm.
yes.
Mhm.
And I think that's eh, Michelle, if I played devil's advocate, I'd be like, it's easier said than done, right? Like,
Right?
I hear
Totally.
you. I hear you in here. But when life is happening, yes, it's easier to quickly start to navigate from that fear-based space sometimes. And I'm saying this as a
Mhm.
surrogate for maybe some people um, that are listening on the line. They're like, yeah, 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 I hear y'all from this place, but how do I receive this more?
That's where
Um,
we should go here right now.
yeah,
I
okay, good.
agree. Yeah, so it's not something that we have a switch for. It's not something we can just change. It takes a change, rewriting the programming that we've been using for a long time.
Yeah.
So some of the programming for many people, I'll give you an easy one, is you're driving along in traffic and someone cuts you off, and your first reaction is to get angry and to be fearful. That puts your nervous system into a state of fight, flight, or freeze, a sympathetic nerve
Yes.
of, and so you're not going to be a psychic. You're not going to be receiving higher information in those times because you're distracted by something else. And so if you could take yourself out of that moment instead of saying, what a jerk for doing that, and say, oh, wow, that happened. And maybe he's going to be late for work today and lose his job if he didn't drive like a maniac to get there. It doesn't matter if it's true. It doesn't matter if I agree with it. What matters is I've just taken myself out of fear mode. I've just taken myself out of anger mode by wondering if there's another possibility.
Mm,
And so I started to do that a lot of years ago, uh, on the recommendation of a mental health therapist that was helping me with my psychic awakening. And I started to do it in every situation that I can manage to do it in. And what I noticed was that one day I wasn't triggered by the same things anymore.
Mhm.
I trained my nervous system to stop being triggered. And so you can do this in everyday life. Just everything that makes you mad or upsets you, ask yourself, is there some other possibility that this is happening other than to attack me or other than what I think it could be? Is there some other possibility? That right there takes you into a softer state and moves you more into parasympathetic innervation where you're able to quiet yourself and relax around it.
Yeah.
So that's the first place to start. And then another place is, well, two more things. Think of yourself as spirit. Realize that you're the creator. You're creating the world. And so if that person cuts you off in traffic and you start cursing them out and you get really pissed off and you start driving really fast, you're creating that too. You're adding to the situation. Uh,
yeah.
Yeah, it's funny that you're saying this and offering these tools because I have did this tool for a while called Interesting Point of View. And for a couple weeks, I went around and it's like, interesting point of view that I say this about myself or my teeth or my hair or my clothing. Interesting point of view that I choose these foods. Interesting point of view, I have this about my car. Like whether it was good or bad, it was just like that was like the words that I would say to open up that spaciousness. And I think having those tools are the first place to unhinge that as Alyssa said on her show, that apps that's running.
The
Yep.
program.
That program that's running is having these regular practices and these regular tools. It's really cool when they do go away just like that, but I think the tools are really the gold.
Speaking
Yeah.
of tools, I know that one of the things that you've been sharing about recently a lot more, like in even in social media, that has had a lot of steam, if you will, like a lot of interest, is the out of body experiences. And why do you believe that out of body experiences are one of the most powerful tools for spiritual growth?
Can
Well,
we
because
go
of
to
my,
the third tool before we go
Oh,
to
sorry,
the
sorry.
yeah, the third tool is
Yeah.
binaural beats.
Okay.
And
Great.
Sorry.
so
Appreciate that.
Oh, like tools.
I was a critical care nurse my whole career and really high stress situations like flight nursing and ER and ICU and neonatal ICU. It's like my brain was not regulated very well. Like I could focus on
Hmm.
something, I could take care of sick people, but I could not meditate and I could
Hmm.
not stop worrying.
Mm,
And I heard about something called binaural beats and
Yeah.
I tried it and I was amazed. I was amazed. I was different the next day after listening to them one time. Now, I'm not making a claim that that happens to everyone, but it
Mm.
happened to me. And so I listened to them again and again and again. And I started
Yeah.
noticing when I would listen to them, I would start having clairvoyance and
Mm.
seeing things from spirit. And then I started hearing things as well. And my psychic ability started to increase. And so I was like, well, this is amazing. So I kept doing it. I kept exploring them. And then my mind needs to know how things work. And so I learned how to make them. And I started experimenting with my own brain by making them. And I gave them away to some people, and they started noticing the same things.
Mhm.
So
wow.
over time, I noticed that same thing with retraining my brain not to go to those places when I'm triggered of fight or flight or freeze. I the binaural beats teach you to bring your brainwave state back from that worry state to something quieter where you can receive from spirit and where your nervous system relaxes and you end up in heart-brain coherence.
Yeah.
So
It
that's
brings
the
it.
third
So
tool.
do you feel like most of the time you're operating almost in an alpha or a really, really low beta state?
Operate a lot in an alpha state, which is a
Yeah.
state of you. I'm in an alpha state right now. I'm in
Yeah,
it,
you
and
can
I
You can
tell
feel
because
it.
we're
yeah,
all kind of just
Yeah.
back in this lull,
and
lull,
then
la
and it.
la with you.
What's interesting about the alpha state, which is a state of being able to receive from spirit while still being able to process what's going
Hmm.
on, versus a theta state where you're not completely there as much,
Yeah.
is it actually seems to increase my ability for thinking, which is a beta brainwave state.
Hmm.
What was your question about that again?
Do you notice that listening to binaural beats are keeping you into an alpha state?
Oh yeah. And so most people, and me included in the beginning, my brain couldn't easily go into an alpha th state or a theta state. And what happens is when you listen to binaural beats, your brain has to decode the difference between the two tones. One goes in one ear and the other goes in the other ear. The brain doesn't literally hear that difference. It hears both tones and it decodes the difference between those tones. And then it entrains the brainwave state into whatever that difference is.
Hmm.
And so when that happens on a regular basis, your brain just naturally knows how to go there when you're not listening to the binaural beats.
Yeah. Yeah, it's trained. It literally is brain entrainment.
That's the name of it, brainwave
Yeah.
entrainment. Yeah.
That's why I listen to Hertz frequencies, of the
Mhm.
breath work.
Mhm.
Dr. Joe Dispenza studied breath, and if you slow down your breath, it slows down your brainwave states.
For sure. Yeah. In the
And
10-second
yeah,
breath, the heart math
uh-huh.
showed breathing in for 5 seconds and out for five
Hmm.
seconds brings you into heart brain coherence. And I would say an alpha or theta state as well.
Uh-huh.
Lovely.
Yeah, fabulous.
Well, now getting to the out of body experience, because that's a topic that's definitely near and dear to my heart because I, as a child, had out of body experiences as well. Why do you believe that this is one of the strongest, what to use your words, one of the most powerful tools for spiritual growth?
Because you get to find out that you're not this body. You get to be
Ah,
independent outside of the body and realize there's no death. All those people you thought were gone, they're still there. They're
yeah.
still out there and accessible. other worlds are connected to ours. We can communicate with interdimensional beings without the filter of the human body or the human brain when we're completely out of the body. We have sovereignty and freedom over ourselves in a way that we do not experience here. And so when you experience that firsthand for yourself, it changes your view of your life here. It takes you out of that place of, why does this keep happening to me? To, wait a minute, I have a lot more control than I thought I did in this world. I just forgot about it. And one of the things that happens to me during out of body experiences is that I go to a place where I meet with guides and we run scenarios about life, about my life, my waking
Wow.
life. They show me things I've done in the past, and they show me things that I could do coming up. And sometimes I'll watch it, like I'm watching a movie, and I'll watch it and I'll say, "Oh no, I can't do it like that. I don't like the way that is happening. I don't like the track of that. Let's rerun it this way." And I'll rerun it a different way, and I'll learn in an out of body state how I can make my life better when I'm here.
Wow.
Mm.
And
So it's kind of like
sometimes,
running the simulations, right? So the
exactly.
different models, like,
Yeah.
Oh,
oh, that's
Yeah.
so fascinating.
Yeah. And I
Okay.
think I wasn't always aware that I was doing it, but I became aware of it. And it happens to me so much now that it occurred to me that it's probably happening to a lot of us that we're having trainings. So many people say, I was in some sort of school while I was dreaming last night.
Yeah.
I think
oh.
maybe
Oh,
you were.
always. Yes. I'm always in school.
Mhm.
I
So
often
all of
like
those
forget to
things
go to class in my dreams.
you
Oops,
really
It was
learn
in
who
my,
you are as
yeah.
a soul. At that point, you can't deny it anymore. You're just like, okay, I'm not. I may not even be here. My brain is my consciousness is just focused on this reality through my brain, and it's just an experience that I'm focused on, and I don't have to focus on this. My consciousness doesn't come from my brain. It just focuses through my brain to have this life, so I can have other experiences
Oh,
as
wow.
well. The other
Mm.
thing
That's
that I
so
want to
wild.
say was really amazing that empowered me around not feeling crazy when I said I was talking to ETs was that I had an out of body experience where I saw, I was shown Earth and where I was standing on, where I was on Earth. And I was standing on this beach and it was just like a normal beach it was under a bridge. And anyway, it doesn't matter. I looked out in the distance and I saw this like glass looking walkway. And I was like, I wonder what that is. So I start walking down this walkway. And in the distance of the walkway, there was the best description I can give you is like a sparkly snow globe. And I felt such an incredible pull to go to it. I was like, oh my God, I have to go in there. And so I made my way across this bridge, this glass bridge over water, into this like lobby of the snow dome, snow globe. And this angel came forward to me. And I was aware of all of this. Like it wasn't a dream. I was there. And she said, "What are you doing here?" And I said, "Well, I want
Ah,
to come in." And she said, "It's not open right now. You can't come in." And she showed me though that that was always there. That doorway is here. It's here on Earth, where what we call this realm. And that is why so many people can talk to other kinds of beings, is that they're connected. There's literally like a doorway there.
ah,
And my human brain, saw it as glass, but I think that was a representation of, and the doorway, like how we do have some access, but not complete access right now.
interesting.
wow.
So you
That's
find
like,
out, wow, we really are connected.
Yes.
yeah, of course we are. And it it's almost like the word that when you were saying doorway, the word that kept coming up was gate.
Right.
Oh God,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
the word lately.
Yeah, it's that was like you know, here's the gate. Yeah.
What's
I've been
interesting
saying that the
about
other
that
day.
when you say it is like gates are also a computer term where,
Hmm.
gates for programming.
Yes,
And
yes.
like we're in a simulation, right? So we're opening these new gates, but it's really happening.
Yes.
And collectively, we're opening more gates. Interesting.
Hmm.
What is the, yeah, oh, and I guess that's a bigger question for my heart is the difference between a gate and a portal.
Oh, yes, it's like a portal like takes you like Alice in
Where is the
Wonderland.
gate
A
has
gate
like
is
a,
like a choice.
I don't know. To me, they seem about the same.
oh, interesting.
Yeah.
We'll have to look at that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For people that don't know if they're having an out of body experience or what that really kind of looks like, for me, I didn't know what that was. And I remember I lived in this apartment complex, and there was a lot of rough stuff that happened in that apartment complex because it was like my first apartment out of, on my own. And I remember like sleeping in because I was in college, and so I'd stay up late and I'd sleep in the mornings for my classes. And so if I slept in too much, I really realized that I wanted to wake up and I couldn't. And then I felt like there was something like pressing on my chest. It felt like kind of like I don't know, like a demon or whatever. So I got really scared of these experiences because I was very, very aware. I was in my apartment. I knew all of the, I knew I was all the things. Like I could see myself, all the things, but I felt like I was a little bit trapped in that way. I've later learned to really work with it, but when I was younger, that was really scary for me.
That
I
sounds
thought
like
that
sleep
was,
paralysis.
yeah, it felt
Hmm.
like sleep paralysis, but also it was very much like that.
Hmm.
But I didn't realize that it was a version of me having an other experience. And then I think that there could be some confusion, and I also think that some people like really don't want to lean into that. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Hmm.
Yeah, I can. So,
Good.
people, I'll start with sleep paralysis is a natural thing that happens to us, but we're usually asleep for it. We don't usually notice it, but it's happening more and more that people are noticing that transition state between the consciousness focusing on the body and the human life, and it's switching to wherever it's going next. And in that transition state, it's the beginning of REM sleep and dreaming. And if you can stay awake during that state while the consciousness shifts from the body to another reality, you'll have a conscious out of body experience. But what happens is if you're going to go to sleep and have dreams, the body wants you to stay safe during dreams, doesn't want you to act out your dreams because you could get hurt. So sleep paralysis is a normal process that we're going through without realizing it.
Mm.
However, when you keep your brain active or your stay online while your body goes to sleep, mind awake, body asleep is what they call it
Hmm.
Yeah.
commonly, then you will be aware of going into sleep paralysis. And it does feel like something on your chest. I've woken up in sleep paralysis many, many times. I want to take a deep breath right now because it feels like you're not breathing. It feels like
Yes.
something's
Hmm.
holding you. And
Yes.
then the reason people associate demons with it, I'll show you this picture. So many people see a version of this
Yeah.
when they're
Yes.
having an out-of-body experience.
Yes.
Sometimes you see it with a hat on, but they're really similar and they're seen across so many cultures. Cultures that don't even talk to each other report these beings.
Oh, wow.
It's the transitional state. And what I think is happening there is that there's a portal that has opened or a doorway that
Hmm.
has opened to another place that your consciousness is going to go. And in those in between states, there's often a guide that shows up, and we seem as humans to interpret that very similarly as the hooded being or the cloaked being.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so the natural association people make is a demon's
Yeah.
holding me
Yeah.
down. I
Yeah.
can't
Well,
breathe.
because
They're trying to
scary
hold me down.
movies, right?
Yeah,
Now,
yeah.
another thing that happens is sometimes that's your guide and they try to pull you out of body to help you get out. And so some people say there was a demon pulling me out of my bed, but that's not what's happening.
Yes.
And I thought the
Yes.
same thing. I was so scared. My whole childhood, these things were at the foot of my bed. Not just my childhood, they were in my foot of my bed until I learned not to be afraid anymore. And then I stopped seeing it in that same way. But people are terrified to have these experiences or to try to have those experiences because, like I said right before we started the show, we aren't taught about this stuff, and then we're given a
No.
lot of scary movies to watch, and so we
Right.
make these associations that are not correct, and then we limit ourselves from being able to access that state that we really can all access. There's another thing I want to say though, is that we can have these conscious out of bodies in that way, but that takes a lot of practice for most people to go from awake and aware that they're in bed and switching consciousness to suddenly being in another location. And that does happen. It happens to me, it happens to many people, and they can guide from there. But what seems to be more common, and I don't want people to miss this, that they're having out of bodies because it's not the way I just described. Sometimes you have a dream, what you call a dream, and it's really an out-of-body experience. The dreams that are so vivid, where you think of it more as a memory than a dream. The ones where you remember really, really vivid details about
Yes.
things, like details you wouldn't even notice in waking life. That's probably an out-of-body experience that you just weren't completely in control of
Yeah.
and or not in control of. And then the other thing is at the Monroe Institute, Bob Monroe needed to understand why he was coming out of body. He needed to make it scientific and
Mm.
figure it all out as best he could in his life. And one thing they figured out through their studies on brainwave measurements and different things that they were measuring with people who were having out of bodies is that all the dreams that people had of flying really correlated with the information they were getting about out-of-body experiences. So he pretty much
Mm.
concluded that flying dreams are out-of-body experiences. Now,
Wow.
if you have a floating sensation or a falling sensation, that is also, and you can associate that with a dream, like you wake up from a dream and you're falling, you're floating, that's probably not a body experience. So
Hmm.
sometimes we don't know the difference, and it's really just a continuum of expanded awareness. So it doesn't necessarily matter, but I said it because people think it's not happening to them, but it is. And
Yes.
if you start understanding, or it's already happening, then it makes it easier to progress.
Yeah.
One of my experiences that just happened, and I'm glad that I do this work because I can understand it more. And I'm sure this is why it happened at that. I had one of the most vivid. I'm a very very vivid dreamer, also prophetic. But all one of the things that in one of those out of body experiences, I woke up and I was so far that I heard the kids in the other room. They're teenagers now, and they were doing stuff in the outside of my door because that's where the kitchen is. But I did not know who they were. I didn't know
Mhm.
who I was. I didn't know where I was. I was like, where am I? Where am I? Where am I? Who is that? Who is that? Who is that? What is that? I didn't know. I didn't know the kids. I didn't know the kids. Like one of them was my niece and one was my own son. Like I thought that was the craziest thing that I had to re-render all
Interesting.
of my simulation back. And
Mhm.
I was like, oh
Oh,
my gosh, this is wild.
that
And once I did, I sat back and I was like, whoa. But I also know that my guides would only let me go that far if I knew that I could understand it all, right? But it was wild.
You woke up while you were still in the transition state. And when you
yeah.
say you had to re-render the simulation, that's exactly what's happening. It's
That like
re-rendering.
every single night.
Yeah, that happens to me almost every night. And so what happens, I don't get confused anymore, but I wake up and I see the simulation or the reality coming back to how it looks
Yes.
when I'm awake and how it looks when
Yes.
I'm out of body frequently. Sometimes it looks exactly like this, but more often than not, like when I wake up in the transition state, like what you just described, I see everything as light. I've seen my
Mm.
husband coming back to his body as pixelated light. I see my cat
Hmm.
out of body and he's light and he'll meow and this massive cloud comes out of him when he meows. Or I sat up one time in that same state you
Mm.
were just describing, and he was in my bed, and I put my hands out to touch him, and I saw my hands as light, and I saw my
Mm.
cat as light, and his
How
head moved, and it was all
cool.
just light. And so re-rendering the simulation is a very nice way to put that, I think. And
Yeah.
so we're not, again, our consciousness doesn't live in the body. It just focuses on the body when the body's awake.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Uh,
what you're saying is really what happens every single night. We're just
Mhm.
not aware of it.
Yeah. And when you start
Yeah.
waking up during that, it's because things are growing for you.
Mm.
oh well, that's
Can
good.
we, as a collective, as a consciousness, can we do this more and on purpose or not if we don't want to?
Yeah, you have a choice. Well,
Right.
it's
I
going to
mean, I know
happen.
we have a choice. I just thought maybe you could help us, like, gather some more awareness around it.
These kinds of things happen to people who don't want them to be happening sometimes.
Yeah.
And when that's the case, there's usually a bigger lesson there that you came here for that purpose. There are a
Mm.
lot of people who have very strong psychic abilities who are afraid to use them for whatever reason, but they're there to be used. They're there. It's happening no matter what. You're just
Yeah.
not remembering it. And so if you don't want it to happen, I would say you probably just won't remember it that much.
Mm,
However, if you're here because you have a role in using it and you said, I want to use it, you're probably going to have it strongly. And the reason that you don't like it probably is that it's scary or it's uncomfortable. Or here's the other part of it that I encounter with people all the time is I'm so afraid to put myself out there in that way and talk about this to other people. We live in this world
mm,
of a lot of people who still doubt what we're saying here today.
Sure.
And so that our psyche picks up on that, our heart picks up on that, and our nervous system picks up on it, and sometimes we hold ourselves back because of that. But what I think will happen, you talked about the collective consciousness, I think is going to happen is more and more people are interested in this.
mm,
It is a very popular topic right now, and I think it's popular because it's been happening to so many people, and they're like, oh my gosh, now I understand.
mm,
And the other reason it's popular is that people are like, this rings a bell in me. I need
Yes.
this. I understand myself just by hearing that this can happen, and I want more of that.
mm,
And with regard to collective consciousness, when more and more people start to do something, that ripples out without us really needing to do much. One way it ripples out is in the 3D, like it's on the computer. People are tuning into all kinds of different shows that are talking about it, and there's a lot of information suddenly about it. And then the other way it ripples out is we're all connected in through the same network. It's why our emotions are contagious as well. And so more and more people will suddenly start to become interested in it. I think that's how the awakening is happening as well.
Yeah.
It's just a ripple effect out energetically. And Spirit told me a long time ago that it doesn't take everybody to have a spiritual awakening. It only takes a certain number of people, and then it goes out into the collective and
Yeah.
things change.
yeah. I want to invite the chat. If you have questions about things that are going on in any of these shows or our language or wording, like what does it mean to re-render yourself? I think that there might be some terminology that you're just letting fly by. Joe Dispenza really brought it to my attention that if you don't get clarity on something that just might fly by you, then you actually don't intake the information as well. So I would like to remind you to ask questions as they come up for anything that you don't understand. There's no right or wrong question. Just please ask them.
Yeah, we're all on our own spiritual journey and we'll receive differently. So she's absolutely right. There's no judgment, there's no right or wrong. Please just feel free. This is a great community to do this in.
Thank you.
What are the first practical steps for somebody can take to increase their chances of having an out of body experience?
Yeah.
Take some time around it in that you lay down with the intention of having it. I would say lay down. You want your
Hmm.
body to completely be able to relax. I have experimented with it sitting up, but to start, lay down.
To
Most
be
people
safe.
say, most practitioners and people who are doing it say to have a completely dark environment. That is not true for me. I actually come out of body pretty easily when it's light out. And
I do too.
so if you've heard that before, don't feel like you have to have that. For some people, it actually increases the fear so much that they don't have an out of body. And if it's a little bit light, it can help facilitate it, interestingly enough, if your brain waves can go into delta. And so the next thing you want to think about doing is using binaural beats to induce that brainwave state into delta. You need to go there in order to have an out-of-body experience. And my free gift is a delta binaural beats, by the way,
Yay.
with a light language activation in it. And so you can try that, but put in some delta binaural beats, and the frequency that was used frequently at the Monroe Institute was 4 hertz delta.
Hmm.
So put in the binaural beats and lay there and pay attention to your breath. Try not to focus on anything too heavily. Just pay attention to your breath. If you're the type of person who starts to have visualizations when you're meditating, focus on that. Just watch things. Just watch the colors or the lights move or whatever happens. Just pay attention to it. If there's nothing there at all, try to, like you don't see anything with your eyes closed, that's fine. Try to imagine a point out a foot from your body. Just imagine a
Hmm.
point, a foot out from your body, and focus on where that point is. And once you feel like you have a hold on that, move the point out a little further.
Mm.
and focus on that while you're not paying attention to your body. You're just breathing. What happens for people who are going to move into that state, it can happen a couple of different ways. For many, many people, you start to feel an intense vibration before the sleep paralysis comes. Not everyone has I don't really feel sleep paralysis much anymore. Not everyone does. So that may or may not happen, but that vibrational state is crazy. It feels like you're like on a plate, like just moving like this. And so that can scare some people.
Sure.
That's the doorway right there. Don't get scared. Just let it happen. Just let yourself vibrate. And for me, it starts with my feet. I feel like my feet are melting off. I lose awareness of where my feet are. And
Oh,
I start to lose
interesting.
awareness of where my arms and legs are. Let that
Mhm.
happen. Don't panic when you lose awareness of the body. That is what needs to happen. But consciousness is defocusing from the body and it's about to shift to something else. And so the next step that will happen is either you'll shift or you will need to try to roll out or you'll go into sleep paralysis. So if you go into sleep paralysis, that's your window and it's a short window, but that's your window to try to get up and get out. And so you don't physically move, but when you realize you cannot move with your intention, try to stand up. I know it sounds weird, but try it.
Mhm.
And or try to roll out from your body. And you don't want to stay next to the body. You want to get away from it as quickly as you can. Otherwise, the magnetic pull of the body will suck you back in. And so get away from the
Interesting.
body. You can turn around and look. It's fun to turn around and see yourself in the bed, but
Yeah.
don't stay too long. Try to leave the room and command where you want to go if that happens to you. If you don't notice
Wow.
sleep paralysis, it just try to stay awake as the body fades from your awareness, and you should switch into you'll either fall asleep or you'll switch into another state of awareness. It can be the biggest challenge for me was not falling asleep, and it is for most people I talk to is staying awake during the transition, and really that just takes practice and training,
Yeah.
not from anyone. You have to do it yourself. You just
Yes.
practice and train yourself. And more things will open up. You'll probably start to see colors and lights and maybe faces and a tunnel and maybe lights at the end of the
Wow.
tunnel. And that stuff will keep moving and just let it happen. If you get one more thing I want to say about it is if you get too excited or if you get scared, if anything causes you to release adrenaline, you're going to go back into the body.
It'll jolt you.
The
Yeah.
body will
Yeah.
pull you back in. And it's not, people call it being snapped back in. And that sometimes happens. But I've had experiences where it was like I was being poured back in.
Oh,
So
interesting.
it was
Interesting.
Yeah.
slow. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they do teach this at the Monroe Institute, isn't it? This
Oh,
some of the
yeah.
trainings. Okay.
Yeah. He has
Yeah.
something called the Gateway Experience
Uh-huh.
that,
There's the gate again.
yeah, I haven't done
It
it,
feels
but
like a gate to
that
me.
is there. Mhm.
Yeah.
He's the original out of body guy that we can think of. Like there are others for sure,
Hmm.
but he started the Monroe Institute and he had scientists work with him, like Tom Campbell, who's a physicist, and others. He was really about making sure that he wasn't making anything up. Like this was
Yeah.
real science. And so highly recommend reading Robert Monroe's books and looking
Hmm.
into his work.
Yeah. When we were in Southern Virginia, we would go to his institute and do practices and things like that. So I have a little exposure to the Institute, but
Neat.
that's about it, like, as far as
That's
it
really cool.
goes.
I
Yeah.
wish he was still here so I could talk to him in
Yeah,
person.
right. Instead of in spirit, I'm sure he's doing it
Yeah.
with a lot of
Oh
people out there,
yeah.
right?
He was one of the biggest influences in my life.
Hmm.
Interesting.
Michelle, some of our questions are about I would be scared if I did that, or I have a lack of trust. If
Mhm.
they have belief systems like that, how do you work with belief systems to help unlock that resistance, that fear, whether it be about out of body or anything?
The fear takes some time to let go of. It's part of who we are. Like we have
Hmm.
fear built into us to keep us safe on a planet where things can eat us. So that's part of who we are. And I think understanding that that's a basic mechanism that we have gives it less power when we know that we're actually safe. So let me follow up by saying nothing can harm your soul outside of fear except fear. It's the only way
Hmm.
you can be controlled as a spirit. It's the only way to
Interesting.
control you. It's the way to control you here in
Hmm.
your body, and it's the way to control you out of your body. But I've had so many scary experiences in my life with different kinds of beings, and The day that I started saying no, it stopped. It just stopped. They go away. They can't violate our sovereignty. But if we're not
Yes.
willing to express our sovereignty, they're going to walk on us. So there are scary things out there,
Hmm.
but we don't have to interact with them. And they really can't trap us. They can't do anything to us. They can only trap us through our own mind, or I shouldn't even say mind, but through our own belief systems.
Right.
And which brings me to the astral. Astral travel is not the same as out of body. Astral is still here in this realm, and all of your fears will manifest there. Not only that, but there are some spirits there that are what we would call lower vibrational. I remember this one part of the Tibetan Book of the Dead where they teach people, like they talk to dead people to help guide them after their life is over here. And there was this one part that says, if something scary is grabbing at your legs, just kick it away and keep going. And really that's the gist of it, is like
Yes. Truth.
don't don't let anything like
Yeah.
hold you back in that way. So, but in the astral, you will experience your fears. They will manifest. You'll see them instantly and you
Hmm.
won't know it's you. And sometimes your guides will prepare you for things. I had two really scary experiences in the last year that were preparing me to encounter weirder things in the out of body state. And one of them was a dragonfly as big as my head came at me
Wow.
and landed on my face. It was me. It was me training me. And then the other one was I there was a centipede on the floor. It was as big as my head as well. And we made eye contact and then it jumped on my face. And so I was doing this, like I woke up doing this. And it was to teach me, you don't have to do that stuff. You're
Mm.
going to be fine. And so the next time it happened, I didn't have any fear. I was like, oh, there's that dragonfly as big as my head. And it stopped short of me and nothing happened. And so,
Interesting.
Uh-huh.
right. And so three things can be happening. One is that we can command our space no matter where we are. Two, we create a lot of those scary things ourselves. Three, there might be some scary things, but you still have control. So,
Yes.
Yes.
so
And
if
you're simulating whether you're here on in a physical or not, which is what's really a practice, so to speak.
if I'm following you, it really is a good point that when you realize that you're not really even here. You're just projecting into this holographic
So true.
reality. You don't feel as scared anymore.
Yeah, the Arcturians really honed in that it's not holographic, it's a avatar embodiment.
We can call it that. But
Well,
it
I
is
mean, I
light.
just yes, but it's it's more like so dense that they wanted it to not seem like, we're light enough that we could just, cut off our arms, right?
Right. Not
And then
not
imagine
not
them
yet,
coming
no.
back on, right? And
What's
I think that's
interesting,
why they wanted to change the language
And
around
that's
it.
exactly what it was, is
Yeah,
change the language around it. Yes.
interesting.
Wow.
yeah.
Uh, I think one of the things is I want to make sure that we had time to do was to experience your work, but we definitely have gone in detail a lot about how you work with clients. For purposes of time, I know that we want to make sure that we also let people know how to work with you if you
Mhm.
want to take us through that. And then I know Deborah has a question, her hand raised too, so we'll come back to the questions.
Oh, okay. But my website is sacredawaken.com, or you can maybe remember it easier, psychicnurse.com. Either one will take you there. And I do psychic readings for people. I do channeled readings. For readings, I'll do whatever people ask me to do.
Yay.
If you want to connect with departed loved ones, I'll try to connect with them. I'm pretty good at that. And if you just want information about your life, I will. Uh, you wanted me to go over the specials. I'm not sure
Yes,
what
yes,
I'm
yes,
supposed to
yes.
do here.
Yeah,
Okay,
I just
let
thought
me.
I would bring it up. It kind of caught me by
If you can take us
surprise.
through this, but you were kind of doing that anyway. Um, so tell us a little bit about this psychic mentoring and mediumship training session.
So I work with people wherever they are with their abilities. Some people don't know anything about their abilities. Other people are already actively using it. I'll meet you where you are and help you grow from that place. And I will also look at things psychically during those sessions to see what comes through from spirit to help you understand and validate you with what you're going through. So that's the mentoring session. It's not in front of me right here. I don't think we have it on as a special, but I'd be happy to add it.
Mm.
Anyway, I also give you exercises to do like in real time and homework exercises where you see what you can pick up on and things. And then I go through it with people to help them know how their abilities are coming through for them. But these sessions here that are part of the special, the first one that was up there is there we go. Sacred light code activation. I discovered years ago that everyone can speak light language. It was
Mm,
just a matter of being introduced to it and having your energies balanced in a certain way. And so I started to work with people to see what would happen. And over and over and over again, they would get their energy balanced and then they would receive a light language transmission and then they would repeat words after me and start talking light language, start speaking their own light language. It happened over and over and over again. And so that's that session right there is I work with you for an hour to give you an activation from your guides through my light language that comes through me. And then you repeat words after me. And then most people start speaking it. Some people start speaking it in the first 5 minutes. Some people speak it a few days later. It really just depends on what your state of mind is, what your brainwave state is like, and what your life is like. But it's amazing how many people actually start speaking it. I would say 99% of people
Yeah.
start speaking it right away. So then soul code recalibration session is a light language and energy medicine session, and it also has Reiki in it. I
mm,
took classes in energy medicine through Eden Energy Medicine and Touch for Health.
mhm.
And I learned that I could work with those energies psychically and also that I could move those energies with light language. In the same way, like you see cymatics, you put sand on a plate and sound goes to it, vibration, and it changes. That happens in the cells of our body and it
Yes.
changes our DNA. So I work with your guides to bring through specific light language transmissions that adjust your meridians, your chakras, aura, polarity flows, 9 different energy systems, and also to give you messages that bypass your conscious mind and work through giving you guidance through urges and ideas and help you move forward in that way. So it's really a combination of receiving higher dimensional guidance from spirit combined with energy work using light language
Oh, I
and
like that.
Reiki. Yeah. So those are those two things.
Yeah, if you're looking for a session and you're looking for anybody's special offer, including Michelle's, go to houthustle.com/live. If you are here on Zoom and you are in a rush and want it, I just put it in the chat.
Thank you.
All right, let's take a couple questions. We've got about 15 minutes. All right, Deborah, quick ones, you guys.
Hi, Deborah.
Hey,
Hi.
you can't take too long asking your question, but we definitely want
We
to get
we
to
have
hear.
15 minutes, just so you know.
As a child, like you said, many, many nightmares. Just prayed and prayed to not dream now for years. I've tried so many things to try get to dream, and I can't. What do you
Mhm.
recommend? I do dream very occasionally, and when I do, it's usually vivid, and I remember it, and I know it's a message.
Try
Um,
binaural beats
yeah.
to get your brain waves into the delta state, and it will help if you're drinking caffeine. Stop drinking caffeine or wean yourself off of caffeine. It's scientifically known to block our ability to dream.
Mm,
And I definitely notice it when I drink too much coffee, which I love, but if I drink a lot of it, I do not dream. And when I get off of coffee, I have such vivid dreams. Sometimes I can barely sleep. So
oh,
if you are having caffeine, try not to have it or try to wean yourself off of it, and your dreams should get better. Now, I don't think this applies to you, Deborah, but it probably applies to other people. In the United States, marijuana is legal, and marijuana will decrease your ability to dream as well. And so some
mhm,
people use it for pain, some people use it for recreation. It doesn't matter why, but it will decrease your ability to dream. If you're extremely exhausted all of the time, then you may not be remembering dreams. And on the flip side, if you can't get yourself all the way into delta for dreaming, then you're not going to have dreams, or you won't have long enough dreams to feel significant. So train your brain waves to go into that delta state. A lot of people have trouble sleeping also or dreaming because this may seem like unexpected, but carbohydrates, especially at night, will
mm.
mess up your ability to go into deep sleep, and so it'll affect your dreaming. So try not to
Wow.
eat a
Didn't know
hard high
that.
carb diet, and if you're going to, at least don't do it at night.
What about ashwagandha? I find that when I take more ashwagandha, I dream better.
My husband calls it
Oh,
ashwagandha.
I don't
I
know,
love
but I'm
it.
going to look into it because
Like
I'm all about dreaming.
I don't know if it's just like, lift or shifted states for me, but when I take ashwagandha, I seem to dream more.
Oh, cool.
Oh, thanks
Yeah.
for the tip.
Hmm.
All right,
All right,
Tracy.
Tracy.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Question. I have an opposite problem. I love my dreams. Like, I want to stay there. And if I ever saw myself actually in bed, I am afraid that I'll be like, I don't want to go back to that body. That body's not healthy. It's in pain. I want to stay here. So I guess, like, have you ever like run into that where you don't want to come back because dream world is amazing?
Oh, I think a lot of people run into that. There's a large number of people who have near-death experiences that did not want to come back
Right.
or that have severe depression after they did come back because of what you're talking about. But I want to tell you this, that you can heal in the out-of-body state. And
I
I've
was
heard
gonna
this
say that.
story many times, and it happened to me where on more than one occasion where somebody, an angel or another being, did something to me and I got better. I've heard of a guy who worked with his beings, his guides outside of his body, and he was dying of heart disease. He had had many
Mm.
heart surgery. He was on all kinds of medicines and stuff, and he was all of them after one OBE where he worked with his guides. I once had one of those dark hooded beings come to the foot of my bed. Don't laugh. They turned over a cup and they poured a number three into my foot, and chronic pain never came back.
Oh,
So
wow.
when you have that fear of it, remember there's this whole other amazing side of it where you're not restricted by the body and the thoughts, and healing can occur in that way. So, um, Tracy, this world was never meant to be easy, and I get what you're saying, and I love dreaming, and I love being out of body and flying and experiencing something very different from what we're doing here. But we agreed to come here, and we agreed to come to a place that was really hard because we knew it would grow our soul and we knew it would expand the larger consciousness system. And that helps me be here.
Well, if I
Mhm.
ever disappear, you guys know where I'm at.
Well, come visit me. Shout out from the spirit world. Send me something pink.
I
Send me something pink.
That's Tracy's color. I love it.
thank you.
Thank you, Tracy.
Thank you, Tracy. That
Thank
was
you for sharing,
fabulous.
both of you sharing that, the vulnerability of Tracy and Michelle for saying that the healing can be available. It's something that we also see in quantum hypnotic healing sessions, because you're in that regress state and you can work with your guides yourself, to actually heal, which is a really beautiful thing because you're not holding your belief system there, and that's what's collapsing down the like the infinite possibility of healing, right?
Right,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right. You think about like Louise Hay's book, You Can Heal Your Life,
Hmm.
and the
Yes.
emotional roots of illness, right? It's thought.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh,
It's
it's beautiful.
thought as a coherent thought. And I think that's the
Something you
difference.
focus on, you mean?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah, like embodying the
Hmm.
thought.
When people define themselves as their illness, we
Yeah.
see that a lot in
Identity
medicine.
around
Oh
it.
Yeah.
gosh.
Yeah, I
If you,
bet.
My
if you,
headache, my migraines, my diabetes.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's quit. Y'all stop that now. We already know words of codes. Knock that off.
Michelle, any parting words?
Oh, wow. Let me try to condense it. You really are much more than your physical body. Think of yourself. Try something new. Think of yourself as a spirit in every mundane thing that you're doing in life, right? Here we are, spirits, using a computer to talk to each other.
Yeah.
Think of yourself as much greater than what this physical body is. Remember that the game here, if I could call it that, is to experience yourself as far from who you really are as a soul. And that means restriction. It means blindness to even what's happening in your own body, right? We came here with a theme of
Mm.
polarity and with incomplete vision. We only see like very tiny part of the amount of energy that's been measured. So learn to quiet your mind, learn to think of yourself as spirit. When we quiet the noise of thoughts, there's so much more out there that can come to us. Start meditating. Use my free gift and
Hmm.
learn to go into Delta state and um, don't let anything make you afraid. There is nothing that can really control your soul other than fear, and that's only temporary as well. So
Hmm.
try to let go of that fear and know that it's a process. You don't have a switch for that. It just
Yeah.
takes time and practice. And over time, if you stick with it, your psychic abilities will improve and your ability to experience yourself as pure consciousness will grow as well. So don't lose hope. It can take a while
Yeah.
for things to grow, but it's always there. You've been psychic and magical your whole life.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Thank you.
You're
Thank you.
welcome.
Oh, it's such a treat to always have you some more to
It's so
chat.
I loved your
Arisa,
text,
thank
Jen. You were
you.
like, I'm trying not to invite you, but thank you so much for
We're
inviting
trying to
me.
give you a breath.
I was like, oh my God, my week is so busy. I hope I could do it, but then I had a spot.
I'm
Oh, I was
grateful.
so
Thank you.
grateful.
I
Thank you
really
so
feel
much.
that this series was calling you.
Oh, of
No,
We
course.
whisper oneness together.
I appreciate you so
Arisa,
much.
thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you, Lisa.
And
Oh,
thanks for taking the time in your lives to make this happen. It's such a pivotal time with humanity that you two you're here at a special time. Thank you.
Well,
thank you.
thank you. Thank you for
Tana says, thank you. You are uh, inspiring, Michelle. And Tracy says, thanks so much, Michelle. Love you and love your stuff, your soul. Michelle, let's see.
love your
Michelle,
stuff.
love your stuff. Michelle, your spirit is so lovely and warm, non-judgmental an invitation ongoing. Thank you. Oh, and there's so many more beautiful messages here. So
Thanks
Thank
so
you.
much. That was a beautiful, I feel like I'm almost like gonna take the transcript and write down the formulas. I feel like
I
this
know.
was kind of a formula. It was different than the other ones, right? Here's all the
Yeah.
formulas from Michelle.
Yes. And I almost cut her
Yay.
off from number three
I
of our
had it written in my
tools.
notebook. I wasn't going to forget.
I know.
I think that's important. I think binaural beats and lowering our brainwave frequency with Hertz frequencies or
Yes.
chakras or whatever like that is always a gift for people, for sure.
Thank
All
you
right.
again. I
Thank
appreciate you
you.
all. Thank you for
Thank you so
watching.
much,
Thanks for
Michelle.
being here. Have a
Thank
really good
you.
rest of your day.
Thank you. Guys, stick around because we are talking with Higher Atla next, and Lianka hasn't even met her
I
because I
haven't.
did that show all by myself, but
That's
she's
right.
like drinking from a water hose. So I hope you've got your hands and your
Oh,
pens
I'm
ready and your
excited.
notes because
I have
she,
mine.
yeah, you better get ready because it really is like drinking from a fire hose, and it's insanely awesome, weird information, mostly through astrology. So it's like health astrology smushed together. Health and astrology had a baby together, and I really hope that you enjoy this next session. She's newer to our work, and she's kind of raw and unleashed, and it was just a delight. Sometimes I really allow spirit to allow us to curate the guest here. And she was one of them that came through a recommendation from somebody else. And I got topped on the phone with her and I was like, I want to know what you do. And she started talking about it. And then it was just kind of like happily ever after. I really adored her. So I hope you really have a great time with her today during the next session. We're going to start in about 5 minutes. Till then, I just want to remind you about our social media game. Put your name in the hat, and how to do it is all you need to do is comment on a recent post on social media and then let us know about it. And then we will make sure you're in the hat. You're welcome to comment on social media and not let us know about it. If you're looking for our social media accounts, you can find it on Instagram at Hout Hustle Live. Also, that same handle on TikTok, and it is Hout Hustle on YouTube. And all comments are please welcome. Also, if you are on YouTube, please like, subscribe, and hit the bell. These are just the required announcements that I must say through my mouth on these shows. Not your flight attendant, but I will flight attendant take off for you today. I also want to remind you that all our offers are on the live page at the live dashboard, and you can find that in your email wherever it says dashboard, or you just hit Out Hustle live. Lots of different links. Also, while you're on that live page, we have a free community where we're talking about these shows. And really, we just want to get your insights of your big takeaways, your whispers, your other questions. So please, let us know because that helps us curate the next summit. It helps us curate our regular talk show where we do meet every Tuesday and Thursday. And so I want to invite you to our regular talk show as well. Next Tuesday, we're talking to Tim Shore, and it's all about beliefs and how to clear them and know that you got them and what to do with them. He's one of the ones I wanted in the summit, but then the summit got packed, and we were like, well, Tim actually falls outside Whispers of Oneness just a little bit, so I guess he fell off to next Tuesday. So I hope you join us on our talk show next Tuesday. We do have, just like we did yesterday, we have a half off uh, gift and surprise for you. It's one of the programs that I did right before I quit my business. I guess that's not really a great entryway, but I love this program so much. It's called Be Magic. And it's really about clearing the noise of this reality, knowing what is not your energy, knowing the lies that you bought, the narratives you bought, and really bringing in ways to acknowledge. You brought in the dog.
I accidentally brought in the dog and she doesn't listen to me.
Okay, I will bring her out if you will finish for the next
I
few
will.
minutes. Okay,
I will.
great.
But she's so sweet. Look, everybody. I know. Look at her little face. She's like, I want to give energy too.
All right.
Alrighty, everybody.
Okay, without me. Don't step on anything on your way out. Don't move anything either.
Oh, I love it. How is everybody feeling? Please write it on the chat. Oh, love the dog energy. Yes, thank y'all. I Animal energy is so cool. In fact, we have I booked someone for who is doing animal readings for us, and so we'll put that out in the talk show here in the next couple weeks. I think you're going to be really excited to hear from her. So bring your pets. It will be in the newsletter, so you'll be prepared. You can bring your pet to have a pet reading, and then just really learn in and tap into like what are they experiencing? What are they trying to tell us? My dog is really itchy, so he had a lot of words. I think you'll find it very fun. But like Janet said, the talk show is every Tuesday and Thursday at 9 a.m. Pacific. And so we just take what we do here at the summit, and then we have these weekly check-ins, right? These weekly meetups with each other during our talk show. Like I said, every Tuesday and Thursday at 9 a.m. Pacific. And we have really great guests lined up for the fall. And I think that you are going to just really enjoy the experience. And again, invite you to come into the community to log your whispers. What are you experiencing there? And then also make friends, right? Hi, if I didn't have this place to come and have an experience with other like-minded folks, I think I would feel very isolated because we are all waking up, and with that comes these really unique experiences that sometimes we don't have words for. That maybe we are the only person in our immediate circle of friends and people that are having these really strange phenomena. And so it's a really great place to be able to come and to experience these really cool phenomena without having a judgment or for feeling that you should be some other place in your spiritual awakening. This is not what that is. This is really about showing each other love and honoring that we are all on our spiritual journey very differently, and we're going to experience them differently because we all have our unique signature resonance. So be sure to join us on our app. I'm sure Judith told you all about it just a little while ago, and you can do that from the live page. If you are joining us on YouTube, be sure to also get signed up for all of the experience that you can enjoy for the summit. And you can do that at howhustle.com/summit.
Thank you.
Alrighty, let me pull my light up and then we'll get going. Starting a new recording.
Ire, can we test your mic real quick?
Yeah, can
The
you hear
birds are
me?
so
Yes, you're good.
active today.
Okay. Are you guys ready? Is everybody ready?
I'm ready.
Hello, everyone, and welcome. I'm Jeneth Blackert.
And I'm Bianca Raina,
This is the Hustle Mystic Morning Show.
your community go-to for Woo, what we call Whispers of Oneness.
This morning we're talking with Ira Atla, and we're talking about astro nutrition. And whoa, I had it on our regular talk show, you guys, we meet every Tuesday and Thursday. I brought her on and I just fell in love with her. Her energy, her consciousness, her space around this. I mean, she just fell into this work. I'll have her share her story. And Leonka missed it. It was
I
just
was
me and
in the
her.
chat.
Okay. Well, it was just me and her, and I was like, "Holy smoke-a-moles!" So this is going to be a fun conversation. If you haven't met Ire, she'll introduce herself right now.
Yeah. Hi, everybody. I'm Ira Atla. I'm a medical astrologer, an astronutritionist, and an astroherbalist, and I help women heal their minds, bodies, and souls so they can overthrow the patriarchy. And I do that mainly through medical astrology readings and nurse health coaching. So it is a very fun time, and I absolutely love it.
Can you share just a little bit of how you fell into this work? How it
Yeah,
forced
I
you?
literally fell into it because I was not looking for it. So at 19, I was diagnosed with endometriosis and told that I would never have kids, and my life was set to be chronically miserable because there was no cure and they didn't want to look for one, apparently. And I was like, you know what? I don't believe that. My body can heal itself and I'm going to figure it out. It took a while, but I eventually, around 25, found a whole bunch of like holistic modalities that really were helping, and I was doing great. And I somewhere in that path stumbled along medical astrology and started looking into my own chart and realized that the reason I was having so many problems surrounding my uterus was I have 5 planets in Scorpio, which rules the uterus when you're not pregnant. And I had my Saturn there, which was really suppressing any of the energy I needed to go to my womb, as well as any like actual nutrition because it restricts blood flow and stuff. So I found ways to increase my blood flow. I did castor oil packs, I had womb massages, I had acupuncture, and I started increasing my nutrition based on the fact that Saturn was suppressing a lot of these other things. And within 3 years of doing all of that, I was pregnant and had my daughter. Naturally, when they said that I would not, and I was like, hey, this actually works and I want to do this for other people. And so I actually started combining that with the herbalism degrees that I got and nutrition, and it's turned into this whole thing. But I absolutely love it, and I know that it works because it's worked for me and so many other people that I've helped. So
Fabulous. Are you good just taking some callers and just exploring it for each of them in mini sessions? Or how do you want to work with us
um,
today?
let's just go over briefly what
Yeah.
Okay.
nutrition and like medical astrology are, and then we can hop into that so people kind of
Okay.
have an idea.
Fabulous.
So, medical astrology asserts that each planet has an influence over our lives and our physical bodies. That influence is determined by which sign it's in, where it's seen most in our bodies. So, like I mentioned, I have Scorpio and 5 planets. So, I have 5 planets exerting all of their energy in that one ruled area of my body, which lends to a lot of craziness sometimes, right? Because there's so much conflicting stuff. But the way it works is the sun is hot and drying, the moon is cooling and moistening, Mercury is balancing and neutral. It kind of can do anybody and help them out no matter where you put Mercury. He's good. Venus is cooling and moistening in a slightly different way from the moon. The Mars is hot and drying, more hot than the sun in medical astrology. It leads to a lot of acute afflictions and inflammations. Saturn is very cold, constricting, restrictive. and is very much one that we see like chronic illnesses cropping up from where his placement is. Then we have Jupiter, which is expansive and happy and brings lots of good things to the body, but sometimes its motto, too much of is not enough, is too much. Sometimes it can cause problems in the body because we have too much energy going to one area and not another. And then we have the outer planets, which aren't officially part of traditional medical astrology, but I do use occasionally as they do relate mostly to the psyche and the energy body. And so if I'm looking for a specific energy body or psychological issue, we'll look there with their placements. And then each sign rules the body system. So that influence of the planets is exerted on whatever body system that sign that they're in rules. So we start with Aries, which rules the head, Taurus, which rules the throat and the thyroid and the whole like voice box itself, the actual mechanism of speech. Gemini actually rules speech. So the air coming from our lungs over our voice boxes to create speech. It rules the hands, the arms, and the central nervous system with its sister sign Sagittarius. Cancer rules the breasts, it rules the stomach, and it rules the womb when you are pregnant. And it has a lot of governance over the female health, like reproductive cycle in general. And then we have Leo, which rules the heart, it rules the upper back, and it rules the myelin sheaths. It also co-rules the cardiovascular system with its sister sign, Aquarius. Then we have Virgo, which rules the liver and the pancreas, first part of the small intestine, and has a lot of governance over people who have like diabetes of any kind, type 1 or type 2. And so that is really seen in that one. It really technically rules the islets of Langerhans, not exactly the pancreas, but they're housed in the pancreas, so it has some governance over that as well. Then we have Libra, which rules the balances in the body. She is the scales after all, so she rules the acid alkaline balance with Aries, her sister sign. She rules the electrolyte balance. She rules the hormone balance. And so she really just rules a lot of the balances. She has governance over the kidneys and the ovaries as well, which again are needed for balances in the body. Yes. And then we have Scorpio, which rules the uterus when you are not pregnant. It rules the female reproductive system in general. It rules the male reproductive system, specifically the prostate. And it rules the nose, which I'm not sure where they got the nose from since we're skipping back up, but it is what it is. And it also rules the colon. So a lot of the elimination processes get ruled by Scorpio. Then we have Sagittarius, which rules the thighs, the hips, and the central nervous system with its sister sign Gemini, as mentioned earlier. We have Capricorn then, which rules the knees specifically, but the skeleton in general, because it rules the boundaries of the body. Also have governance over the skin, which is another boundary our body, has. And it has a lot more governance over the gallbladder. And then we have Aquarius, which rules the sodium balance in the body. It co-rules the cardiovascular system with Leo, as we mentioned earlier, and it rules the calves and the ankles and the electrical system of the body. And then Pisces, the very last one, rules the feet, and it also rules the psyche, as it is the governor normally of the 12th house. So when you put all this together, it gives us a picture of like what's going on in someone's body. Each planet also rules a set of nutrients as well, and that helps determine which nutrients your body may need more or less of based on how they're in relation to each other.
And you often will go off the birth chart for these readings, which means that, depending on what you're actually doing in your life, sometimes it can change, or how does that work?
The birth chart gives us an overall view of how your body is cosmically designed to function and which health problems you will be more suspect to, more likely to get. And of course, likely doesn't mean definitely, right? Yeah. And so a lot of times you don't get them at all because you just haven't met that certain trigger that's supposed to set it off, or you avoid that trigger altogether, right? So it never happens. Or you have triggered one of those for whatever happened, right? Something went on, you got that disease, but then you have worked diligently to heal that. So it'll still show that you were likely to get that. And you may have actually gotten that, but if you've done the steps to heal it, then it's been healed. But you can't really see that unless you run like a current transit chart with it and a bunch of other stuff sometimes. So yeah, sometimes there is things that are shown that have been healed, but there's no way of knowing that just by looking at the birth chart.
Great.
So the benefit here, if I'm paraphrasing, is if you see some of these like places where there could be that would show up of maybe, faux pas or whatnot. I don't know if that's actually the word, but a disease, there's something that could be a nexus point for having something, an ailment, if you will. is that you can actually start to knowing that can help you to start to heal in the opposite way, or to, avoid those things. Is that what you how you help some people as well?
Yeah, we can definitely do like preventative things for sure. Like,
I could
hey,
have said
when
it that
this
way.
yeah, when this transit comes up, you're gonna like maybe struggle with this, and this, or this could potentially happen. So, hey, here's some steps you can take to mitigate that or stop it altogether or
Yes.
whatever, right? So
Yes.
yeah, it's definitely very preventative. It's very holistic because it looks at the energy body, it looks at the spiritual body, it looks at the physical body, it looks at the mental body. So you see like the whole person and what's going on. And there's been a lot of times when someone has come to me experiencing certain symptoms and they're expecting a physical answer, and I'm like, oh no, actually the chart's showing that's a psychological thing going on and you're having some
Hmm.
psychosomatic symptoms, right? So it's
Interesting.
really something going on in the psychological body, but it's showing up in the physical body because that's how our body communicates, is through symptoms.
That's a
Right.
whisper from John D. Martini.
Yes. And so also that too, if somebody's having, like, for example, like I was having a lot of low energy, a lot. I did have my hormones tested, and it showed that I had a low testosterone, even though I was perimenopause and had a hormone replacement therapy. All besides the point. But I can see how not having energy would start to make me feel like something else was wrong. And if it's a site, like if it's something that is, more in the psyche, right? And you start to feel whatever symptoms, I can see how you would almost start to you could get yourself really sick because you think that it's this, right? Like, oh my gosh, of course, my hypochondriac self wanted to believe that it was like, oh my gosh, something else, right?
Yeah.
Luckily, I've had enough training to know to start to do the testing, but I can see how some people really give themselves diseases if they don't know what's going on, and if it's something that's, maybe in their psyche, and then all of a sudden they're just headed down this other path because of, like, you get more scared.
Mm-hmm.
And then you
Yeah.
more worry and stress, because I mean, I was doing that to myself.
Yeah, and stress is a huge factor in any kind of
Yes.
illness or disease starting, because our bodies don't handle stress for a very long period of time very well. Short stress we can do well, right? Long stress is very detrimental to our body systems, and especially our digestion, which is where we need to get most of our nutrition and stuff from, right? We digest the foods, we break it down into usable components, and then we use them. If your digestion is not breaking things down appropriately, you're not going to have the building blocks that your body needs to heal itself. So it gets in a catch 22. And so finding that actual root cause is the best way to, actually heal something, is to find what's actually causing it. And then we treat the root cause instead of treating symptoms. It's not a symptom management. It's definitely a root cause way of like finding things and
Love
treating
it.
that so that people can get better, actually better.
Great. If you were going to take some mini sessions, what would you need from the caller?
I need date of birth, time of birth, and place of birth. And they can drop it in the chat. They can say it out loud, whatever works for them. They can just private message me in the chat if they don't want to
Okay.
say
Go
it out
ahead.
loud or put it in the group.
Great. Yeah, go ahead and put it on the chat if you want a session and then raise your hand. Uh, Also, what if they're going through something right now? Do you need information about that?
If they would like to give that, that'd be helpful so we could see what placements, or possibly even put up
Yeah.
a
I want to
current
raise my
transit.
hand.
Well, okay, let
I can put up
Leonka
a
go
transit
first.
by will
I
and
want
see what they
Leonka to raise her hand too.
I had a feeling. So, um, my name is Leonka Reina. My birth date is 8/1/78. And do you need my name at birth? No.
No, 8178, you said?
Yes. And I believe I was born at 1:45 p.m.
There are a lot of questions. Do you need the exact time in the
And then in
That
Austin,
time is
Texas.
always best, but a estimated
That's what it
time
says
works
on
just
my
as
birth certificate, but I think I was born before that. But it
yeah, a
said,
lot of times back in the day, especially when we were like 70s, 80s, when we were all born,
yeah,
they tended to put it on after they like, checked
we're
the baby and
stamping it.
everything. Yeah.
Yes.
And so
So my mom
it's,
said it was definitely after lunch. I think it's like 1:18 is what she said.
Okay.
Oh, wow. Okay, 1:18 p.m. and then Austin, Texas.
That was a lot just to get to a time.
I know it because it's been eluding me for a while.
All right. Is there anything in specific you wanted me to look at, or just kind of like a general?
I definitely had been experiencing like low energy, and I did get my hormones tested, but and I do know that I have a periodically have a digestion thing going on, which I've always had like chronic constipation since I was a kid.
Yeah, well, that's explained because you are a Scorpio rising and Uranus is in your first house in Scorpio. Uranus is in the electrical planet of extremes and it rules extreme ways that our body reacts to things. So flip-flopping back and forth between like diarrhea and constipation or just leaning more toward constipation is 100% noted by that right there because it causes a lot of like spasms and other weird things that happen in the colon, and so it can lead to different things. It's also very drying, that planet is, and Scorpio already is a very dry water sign
It
because it's very
sounds
leaky.
accurate. Yeah.
Yeah, and our stool needs lots of water in it to move appropriately through our colon, right? Like it
Yes.
needs some water, not too much, because otherwise we get diarrhea and we're on the opposite spectrum.
Yeah.
So we need some. But what happens in here is they're already so dry that your body's reabsorbing way too much moisture. So first step would always be drink way more water than you think you need.
Yes.
Two, you definitely need to have some more potassium in your life because you have a Cancer moon in the ninth house. And Cancer and the moon are actually good together because the moon rules Cancer, but it also rules potassium, and you have Jupiter right there. So your body has a lot of energy going straight into your stomach there, and it needs a lot more stuff than it might for someone else who doesn't have that. So a lot more potassium and a lot more riboflavin, which are both ruled by the moon, could be super helpful here as well. A lot of times when people have chronic constipation, they'll tell you to take more magnesium, but what we have started finding is that it's actually lack of potassium for many people that causes the
Interesting.
constipation, not lack of magnesium. So in your case, you definitely need some more potassium.
Okay.
Jupiter being there too expands a lot of things, and it can create a problem where you have too much stomach acid. And so when you have too much stomach acid, you don't break things down as effectively as well because you have too much going on.
Yeah.
Again, too much of a good thing is too much sometimes, but Jupiter doesn't believe that. So when you put that together, it just really shows you have a lot of energy going into your stomach, but not to the colon where you need it for
Right,
the
right. I
elimination
need
part.
that to move.
Yeah. And so, yeah, definitely need some more potassium, definitely need some more water because Scorpio is a very leaky water sign. It rules the elimination pathways of the body. So, excessive sweating is seen here a lot, excessive nose running for no
It's
reason,
me.
weird
Oh,
bouts back and forth of diarrhea, constipation, loose stools, maybe not diarrhea, but
I
looser,
never
you know
get
what I mean?
almost never,
Okay.
almost never get
That's
diarrhea
because
unless
of
it's like,
Uranus there. It's
yeah.
drying things out. But if you didn't have that there, for
But I
anybody else,
always had a runny nose. I'm
yeah.
definitely the first person to start sweating anywhere. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
mhm.
Scorpio and runny noses are like hand in hand for all the time.
Oh
It's
God, I was
ridiculous.
sneezy in my prom. Like that was my sash. If other people got like most beautiful, I got the word sneezy. So there you
Yeah.
go.
Yep.
All right.
And then you also have a stellium in Virgo, which is also not helping anything when it comes to that. So you have Saturn there, Mercury there, Venus there, and Mars there, as well as the North Node, all in Virgo. So that's a lot of conflicting energy for one, which again can upset things and upset balances when we have so much of different energies coming into one body system. Saturn is very cold and constricting, and then it's in an earth sign, which also makes him colder, but you are above the horizon, which helps warm it up a little bit. So that is helping on, to an extent. Um, but Virgo rules the first part of the small intestine, the duodenum, and the pancreas and the liver. And it is also a very dry sign. It's a mutable earth sign. It needs lots and lots of water with Saturn there, and then you have Mars there as well. You have those conflicting energies of one trying to restrict and one trying to inflame. And so it can go back and forth where the stomach issues are coming from too could be from the fact that everything in your body is just very, very dry. If you look at like the first house and the sixth house, which shows your overall constitution, you have Scorpio, which is a very leaky, dry water sign, and you have Aries in your sixth house, which makes you also very hot and dry. So then with all that Virgo stellium energy, your body just needs hella water, like constantly. You probably need to drink a gallon
Okay.
or two a day, and you need plenty of electrolytes with that.
Thank you.
Wow,
That
And
reads actually.
that's
yeah, that
great.
would actually probably help some of the low energy too.
I
When you're
was just thinking
dehydrated,
that
it's
when you
hard to
said
be
that.
energetic.
Yeah. Wow. Thank you.
Yeah.
Fabulous. All right, we've got two Mystique members that have put in their information in the chat. One is
Okay.
Tonda, and the other is Tracy. So if you could take both those first, and then how many others we can get to, and you can use your intuition on who you
Yeah.
want to call in next.
All right, Tonda, go ahead and unmute, and if you can bring yourself on
She,
camera,
all her, yeah, and all of Tonda's information is
is
on
right
the
here.
chat. Oh,
All right. I'm looking.
I was Tonda Lowell, March 10th.
we got it. We got the information. If you just want to
Okay.
hold tight to
Okay.
reply.
Yeah, just
Okay.
give me a second.
Tonda, do you have anything going on that you want to bring up?
I have trouble sleeping.
Okay.
And just I'm trying to deal with stress. I'm just trying to get my body back into I've gone through a lot. I'm just trying to get my body back into where it belongs, and that's not easy.
No, it's not all the time. Our bodies don't like to cooperate sometimes when they've been one way for so long. It's hard to change.
I'm a
Yes.
Libra, so maybe that's why things always kind of seem okay for me.
Well,
It just
I
balances itself out.
Yeah, right.
I
I
know,
had I
right? That's
was
cool.
my dad had Alzheimer's, so I was his primary care for almost 10 years.
And that's
And
exhausting. No
that's
one will admit that to a lot of people, but it's exhausting being a
it's
full-time caregiver.
exhausting.
And
Yes.
that is stressful, and that can stress your body out, and it can take a long time to come back from that. So let's see. We have you as a Pisces sun, and you have a stellium there because you have Mercury and Venus there as well. So that explains honestly a lot about being tired. Pisces is the most tired sign in the zodiac. They need 12 to 18 hours of sleep a day, no matter what age they are. They definitely don't sleep well, unfortunately. They need lots of sleep, but they don't always sleep well. And it's because they rule the psyche in the 12th house. So they tend to not sleep well because a lot of times we find them like astrally traveling or in some kind of crazy dreams or having a nightmare or reliving something that happened during the day because they pick up on everybody else's energy so easily that what you're really feeling isn't yours, it's someone else's. So the best thing you can do for your energy is a daily cleansing, where at the end of the day you do something with either water or smoke or incense, something like that, where you just like take a moment to cleanse and cut all cords that are not yours and get rid of energy in your body that doesn't belong to you. And a lot of your energy will come back because you'll be calling your energy back and getting rid of those toxic people's energy that you picked up throughout the day. So that's a good thing right there. Second thing about Pisces, especially with the stellium there, is it's a sign that struggles with nutrition. It's a late winter sign and it struggles to take up anything that you eat. It does not do well with plant protein at all, like being able to break it down. So, unfortunately, Pisces are very sensitive to even the food they intake. And so they need animal protein to really be able to synthesize that protein into their body to have the building blocks to heal and have energy and all that. But you can pick up very easily on whether that animal was mistreated in their life or not. And so it makes it really hard to eat animal products a lot of times for strong Pisces presence like this. So finding ethically sourced meat is the best way to go about this, but making sure you are getting at least some kind of animal protein into your life throughout the day. Sometimes they do best if they raise their own animals and their own chickens, which is not easy for all of us to do, right? Most of us live in a city and we can't exactly be running around with a farm. So finding a farm near you that you can check on the animals, see how they're treated, talk to the farmers is the best way to source like farm fresh eggs and meats and things like that, dairy products. You do need those. Just they need to be more ethical for your specific body, or you need to start a ritual where you like pray and cleanse the food before you eat it to bring positivity back into it, because eating the wrong food that's not been energetically cleansed or it's not from an ethical source will deplete your energy as well. It'll make you very tired. So that is something that is really possible there. You have Mars in Sagittarius. Sagittarius rules the central nervous system. And if our central nervous system is not happy, and is very worn out, then we're very tired as well. So a lot of inflammation can happen there with Mars in there, and it can just exhaust you to have all that like constant inflammation in your body. It's opposite in opposition of Jupiter and your moon that are both in Gemini. And so that can be causing some issues too, because you have Mars influencing Jupiter and your moon, which means that they get some of that hot, inflaming energy put onto them as well in your Gemini ruled areas, which again is the central nervous system, as well as like your lungs. If we're not breathing well, then we're also going to lose energy because we don't get enough oxygen. So breathing exercises are really good here, like doing like the pranayama, like breathing and stuff every day is really good. Gemini struggles with breathing correctly. They tend to breathe through their mouth a lot instead of through their nose. And so being conscious of that, especially when they sleep, they tend to be mouth breathers, which means you don't sleep as well. So then you're exhausted still because you didn't get enough rest. So practicing breathing through your nose all the time, if you consciously start paying attention to how you're breathing, you might notice you breathe through your mouth a lot more than you realize throughout the day. So constantly switching back to nose breathing, because that's how we're made and designed to breathe primarily. When you are breathing through your mouth constantly, it throws your body into fight or flight because it thinks that we're trying to run away from something, which is why we're mouth breathing so much, because we need more oxygen quick to get away from the danger. And so it throws you into the wrong site, which you already struggle with because you have that Mars in Sagittarius, which puts you easily into a fight or flight without trying. So lots of yoga, breathing exercises, things that calm that nervous system. Baths are really good with Epsom salts for this and really calming that. And then making sure you're getting plenty of magnesium and B vitamins, as those also are imperative for your nervous system to function at its best. So those would be my suggestions overall.
Thank you.
Wow.
We used to raise our own milk, meat, and eggs, and I felt the best right then. And now we've gotten away from that. Maybe we've got 6 acres, so
Yeah, if
Hey,
you have the
Nice.
space, it might be time to go back, at least with the chickens, if nothing else, right? Because
yes.
they are wonderful animals. We had chickens for a long time and I miss them dearly, but
I want chickens.
and
they're
goats.
great.
Oh,
We had goats too.
Oh yeah, see, and goats are great too. We didn't have any goats. We had chickens and ducks and bunnies.
Aw,
oh.
Do you have
thank you.
any, Tonda, do you have any animals now? They like on the land?
No, just
I'm
a dog.
hearing
But
that
across the street we have a farmer who raises cows, and they're happy cows. So
awesome.
we have friends who are giving us eggs.
I'm hearing that you getting some maybe free range chickens will do you some really good. It'll also get you outside too, uh, to and it gets your body moving, so you'll have someone and little beings to care for and have fun with as well. That will
Nice.
support
Yes,
you back. Yeah.
yes.
Yeah. Uh,
Thank you.
as she was going through all those recommendations, I was looking at Leonka and I was saying we all should do that.
Yes.
Have nightly rituals where we're cutting cords on other
Sage.
people's
Mhm.
energy and saging
I have to
energy, and
I
it
have
was
to
just
learn
kind
how to
of
do that.
remarkable.
We
Yeah,
have to learn
I
how
was
to do
going.
that.
She told me to do some Instagram reels, so
Yeah.
I'll share them with you. I'll share
Okay.
them in the community too. Great. All right. Can we do Tracy next, please? Tracy McCoy.
McCoy? Okay, I see her.
Tracy, do you want to come on and say if you've got some things going on? I know you've got things going on.
I know. I'll just do like the top 8 that are really in a pain. I have chronic pain. I also have hypermobility Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, which is a connective tissue disorder. And
Yeah.
that comes with a lot of fatigue and dislocation, subluxation. I also have fibromyalgia, chronic migraines, degenerative disc disease, and I've had a lot of surgeries to fix all this. And I have thyroid issues. And I'm just exhausted and tired of being in pain and trying to strengthen my body so I don't like dislocate stuff all the time. And I also have IBS, which I know cancer has a lot of stomach problems.
Well,
And I
you
think
have
those are the
Jupiter in
top.
Scorpio and it's retrograde. So retrograde planets don't behave the same way as non-retrograde planets in our chart. So like normally Jupiter is happy, expansive energy. It brings lots of excess energy to a place, right? When it's retrograde, it won't behave in that way. So yours is retrograde in Scorpio, and that can very much lead to that IBS where the energy coming in is not as expansive and it can lead to lots of back and forth on the IBS. Do you have the IBS like C or the IBS D, or do you have the combo?
The combo, depending
Okay.
on which medicines I'm on.
Yeah. So that makes sense too, because right directly conjunct to your Jupiter is Neptune. Neptune is the great dissolver and lends to a lot of issues because it dissolves minerals in the body. And that's before they really can get used in the way they need to. And so we don't have enough minerals, which is what you need for good bowel health, is plenty of minerals and plenty of like probiotics and prebiotics to keep everything working as they should. Then things don't work as they should and you wind up with that. You also means that you could have a very sensitive colon that is very reactive, which it sounds like yours is, because of all of that. So the best way to deal with that is to make sure, because colon health in Scorpios is so imperative, but it's so like tricky to get right. um it needs lots of insoluble fiber, lots of soluble fiber, and you have to have this fine line where you get basically even amounts of each day, or you tend toward IBS going one way or the other, right? You can get too much of one and then you'll get constipated. You can get too little of one and then you're having diarrhea. And it's a very fine, frustrating line to walk. And I get this because I have 5 planets there and it is so annoying to have to every day balance all this stuff out. And sometimes I just want to eat the slice of pizza and not worry about it, right? So it gets exhausting and I totally understand that, but it is something you're just going to have to unfortunately make a part of your life, is making sure you're getting plenty of soluble and insoluble fiber. So soluble fiber is fiber that absorbs water and holds on to it. So think like chia seeds, flax seeds, you put them in water, they turn into a gel. That is soluble fiber. Insoluble fiber is typically like fruits and vegetables. It doesn't absorb any water. It basically just helps push things through the colon. So you need a nice balance of both of those. There is a couple of vegetables that do both. Broccoli is the biggest one and has soluble and insoluble fiber in it. So eating plenty of broccoli is the easiest way to get that in your life without having to go too crazy with other stuff, and not be as exhausting. So broccoli is a huge thing there. Also, chia seeds are good here, but you need to either soak them overnight before you use them or grind them up like in a coffee grinder and then add them to like yogurt or something where they can absorb some of that liquid before you eat it. Otherwise, they just run right through you and they give you diarrhea. So if you're going to do that kind of soluble fiber, it does need to absorb some of that liquid before you do it. You also have a stellium
and pain?
The pain.
Like the chronic
well,
pain
the
and the hypermobility.
Like,
okay.
Yeah. So you have.
Am I a stellium Cancer or just?
You are a stellium in Cancer. Yep. You have a moon, Mercury, and the sun there. So that already lends to a constitution that needs a lot of assistance. It's a more sleepy constitution and things don't get dispersed as well as they should. The sun is our vital force and like our life battery, if you will, and the moon distributes that to where it needs to go. Well, when they're both in Cancer like that, your vital force is already kind of low naturally. And then you have the moon, which is in Cancer, not distributing it as evenly as it should either. So that kind of is part of the problem right there. Your energy that you're bringing in is not going where it should in the manner you would like it to. Then you have the central nervous system is where we usually look for like pain issues because that's where most of our pain is coming from, right? So you have Neptune in Sagittarius and you have Saturn and Venus in Gemini. Those two co-rule the central nervous system. So Saturn there is really suppressing things and constricting things. Neptune is dissolving things, which means it could be dissolving that like myelin sheath that surrounds our nerves. When you don't have a good myelin sheath, you get lots of like painful nerve zaps a lot of times, because what happens is, think of like an electrical cord that's on your lamp and has like that cord around it, right? It's covered. If that covering comes loose for whatever reason or falls off, if you touch that cord, you feel a zap sometimes and you can feel it. But if there's like a gap, there's like cord cover, no cord cover, you can see it sometimes arc through there and like you can see the electricity because it's not flowing easily because that cover that helps it is missing. Think of that's how our nervous system works as well, very similar with the myelin sheath. Sagittarius in Neptune is going to have some issues with that dissolving, which means you need more B vitamins, lots and lots and lots of B vitamins, and probably in a sublingual form. So it avoids your digestive system and goes straight into your bloodstream. Otherwise, you probably won't get enough of it, and it will not be a fun time as you're noticing. So plenty of B vitamins. Thiamine is the main one that you want because that actually has been shown to restore the myelin sheaths. But you also do need some copper in there as well, which we get from our diets only. Please do not go take a copper supplement. With your Venus and Gemini next to Saturn like that, it rules copper. It is being constricted really bad in your body because Saturn is right there pushing that down. It also rules vitamin E and it rules niacin, which is another B vitamin. Those are essential too for nervous system health. So a vitamin E supplement is probably not going to be a bad idea here. Sagittarius is already hot and drying and like, you know, because it's a fire sign. Gemini is an air sign. So that whole system is very dry. So you need plenty of good fats in your life. The myelin sheaths are made from fats. So you need to be eating plenty of good fats in your life. This is like avocado, olives, olive oil, avocado oil, coconut oil, seeds, nuts, things like that. Butter, eggs, all good. Need lots and lots of those in your life. A whole foods, nutrient dense diet is going to do you a world of good. Anything that is highly processed, your body will tell you almost immediately that it does not like that. And that's partly because you are Sagittarius rising, but you need lots of variety because of that. With that mutable fire sign on your rising, you need lots of variety, but you need like the same stuff at the same time. So you got to like change it up throughout the week. You don't do well if you eat like the same 5 meals all the time, but you need the same 5 meals all the time. So you got to balance out that need for variety with that need for, I need the same to help your body. And with Saturn there in Gemini as well, you're gonna have to stick very closely. There's lots of discipline in doing this, or else it's just not gonna make a huge difference. You have to be consistent, which is hard when you're not feeling well and you're tired and everything. It's hard to be consistent on that stuff. So baby step it, start slow, start with drinking more water and hit that. Once you hit that goal, then you have it stack something else onto it, right? Now we're eating more fats in my life. And now that I got the fats and the water down, now I'm doing this. It's not going to be a quick journey out of this, but it wasn't a quick journey into it either. So we just have to remember that and be conscious of that, because that's the part that's hard. As humans, we want to go from feeling bad to feeling better instantly because waiting sucks and there's always that like crappiness in the in between, and it just doesn't work that way, unfortunately. So you're going to have to go through some crappiness to get out on the other side, and you're going to have to keep going no matter how crappy you feel, because as you start healing, you will feel worse for a little bit before you feel better as the body pushes things out. That's how it works, and it sucks, and I know that, and I'm sorry.
Thank you so much. I've got lots of tips and I'll listen to the replay.
Yeah.
Okay. And all of that should like bring my pain levels down once everything else is balanced.
Thiamine has actually been shown in studies to work better than narcotics after dental surgery. And you know how bad dental surgery makes your whole like face and mouth and everything hurt? And it actually worked better than narcotics in the majority of people when they gave it at high doses. I'm talking like 100 milligrams 3 times a day. And that actually worked a lot better. And what we found in people with like Ehlers-Danlos and chronic pain issues and fibromyalgia is that they're low. They doesn't hold on to them for some reason. So you need to increase those by like crazy amounts. So you can't do the RDA. You got to do the optimal daily values, not the recommended. The recommended ones are for people who aren't sick.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
That's a lot to do, but it's somewhere to start.
Yes,
it is
and you
somewhere
can
to
listen
start,
to
and
it
that's
on the
what matters
replay.
sometimes.
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah.
having a plan.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you so
Wow.
much.
All right. One more to take, I guess. Can you take Deborah Reimer? She's one of our Mystiques too. If you
Ooh.
guys don't know what I mean by Mystique members, we'll talk about that during some of the other breaks, but that is our inner circle. And
They get priority
we give them priority on bigger calls
questions.
like this. Yeah.
Don't lower your hand because we might be able to come back and take your question after.
Yeah, we still have a little bit of time.
Yeah, don't worry.
And be present with all of this information. I felt like when she was going through Tonda, I was like making a list of things that I was going to add to my life energetically as well.
Exactly.
So I think that's,
Yes.
some of the dietary things you might want to let go of, but if they're energetic things and they call for you, then
I'm
take
glad you said
action with
that.
them.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
talked about the saging the house that Spirit told me right now on channeled message that that would be important for lots of us to do
Yes.
as the quickening happens.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I
Great.
saged
And the
my house
ritual
the other
of
day.
it is really helpful.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, I think it's
Yeah.
probably a good idea, especially as this quickening happens, to do
Yeah.
it regularly. Yes. All
So
right.
I quick aside, I saged my house the other day, like I do at the beginning of each month, and told all negative spirits and energies to leave. And literally, as soon as I finished, my doorbell started ringing like crazy, and there was nobody out there. And I went to the door and I said, "I told y'all to leave. Get, or I'll
Hey.
send you back to where you came from, and I don't care." And it immediately stopped, and I haven't had anything. And the house has been so light and airy since. So it does work, in case you're wondering.
Good.
Man, you
Thank
have been
you.
like practically calling.
I love it.
I'm like,
Love
"No,
it.
you can't come back. What are you doing? So
Yeah.
please leave me alone."
Yeah.
Yeah, when my son was 7, he was like, smelled some sage, and he's like, wow, that really pumps up your spirit. And I thought that was such a little, yeah,
Cute.
intuitive thing for a little child to
Yeah.
say.
All right,
All right.
Deborah. All right, or
All right,
I think
Deborah,
her
do you
stuff
have a
is
Thank you.
there.
specific question?
Uh, do I have a question? Oh my goodness. You just go at it because like, wow. Um, my biggest, I mean, I have had Hashimoto's, that's taken care of, high blood pressure. I'm not on any medication currently. My blood, I don't know
Good.
whether it's the energies that I sometimes feel like my blood pressure is up a bit, but um, mostly I've had parasites for the last year. I think I've got them under control, but I would sure love to hear that from you. But I have a very strong rash, and it's in the inside of my lower left or up the upper groin area on my left leg thigh. I'm Scorpio, as you know, with lots of
Yeah, you got a whole stellium there, just like me, in the same house as me. So I get this. You have your Mercury there, your Sun there, Saturn there,
yeah,
Venus there. And if we're looking at other things as well, you have your Pallas Athena and your Dark Moon Lilith there too,
yeah,
um, which don't officially mean anything in medical astrology, let's be honest. But in regular astrology, it's a hell of a, stellium.
yeah,
As far as the rash goes, you have your moon in Capricorn, and you have the North Node there as well as Chiron. And it's in it. I do Placidus readings because I like those better, and I feel that it gives me a better insight to the psychological body and the energy body. So I do those. So your sixth house is actually split between Capricorn and Aquarius, and the sixth house is like our house of health and where we really look to see why we're having the issues we're having. So Capricorn rules the skin, so skin issues are really huge there. And Aquarius rules the cardiovascular system, as I said, with Leo, and it actually rules the electrical system. And you have your Mars in Aquarius there. So that explains the high blood pressure right there. And you will probably notice it when the moon transits through Aquarius and highlights your Mars there. You're going to notice your blood pressure is probably going up during those times. So those are definitely times where you're going to want to do what you do to keep your blood pressure down during those times. You also have Pluto in Leo, which is Aquarius' sister sign. So you have that Pluto acting on your Mars and your Mars acting on that Pluto. Pluto is the planet of transformations, and it can transform lots of things in our physical health for either the better or for the worse, depending on, what lessons we are needing to learn at the time in our life. So Leo rules the heart, it rules the myelin sheaths, it rules the upper back. It's normally ruled by the sun. So being in Pluto and that dark, cold planet is not a happy place for Leo to be. You're a Leo rising, so that's also really tamping down that Leo rising energy. Leo risings are very magnetic and people love being around them. Everybody thinks you're fabulous and wonderful, even if you're really not. And, because they see you as that lion, that happy lion. And with that Scorpio sun and that Capricorn moon, people are probably constantly approaching you for advice on all kinds of things, esoteric, practical. No one talks to you like that. Oh, thank God, because I have a stellium and two, and I get the weirdest people walking up to me asking me things that I'm like, I don't even know you. And they're like, I just know you can help me. And that's like, it's really off-putting when you're trying to be in public sometimes and you have strangers just asking the weirdest things. But that
Mostly
Leo,
people, mostly people say, stay away from me. Like, no, I don't want to know.
they probably, because they sense you would tell them something they don't want to hear, because you probably are pretty intuitive with that Scorpio stellium there and know things that they don't want you to know, but you know it. But with skin issues, with the moon in Capricorn, that is not a good placement for it to be. That is actually the sister sign of Cancer. So it is a sign that you would think it would like to be in. It does not. It's an earth sign. It's a very drying earth sign. Very, very drying, because it's normally ruled by Saturn. And so it is very dry. So when you have the moon there, which is trying to increase that moisture a little bit, but it can only do so much. So you just have naturally a lot of dryness in your overall constitution, because you have a fiery, hot first house and you have a very drying earth sixth house. So you have the need for a lot of water in your life. And I have found that a lot of people who have um, high blood pressure issues, a lot of times it's dehydration is the main issue. And if they get that under control, the high blood pressure goes away. Or in this case, you have Mars in Aquarius. Aquarius rules sodium. And this is going to sound the opposite of what we've all been told, but studies have actually shown that people need more salt than what they have been preaching for years and years and years and pushing. And a lot of people who don't need enough salt actually get high blood pressure instead of the other way around. So you might actually, with that Aquarius there in Mars, you actually need more sodium in your life than you would think. So more sodium would actually help.
Celtic salt, yes.
Almost. So with Capricorn in the moon, it's very drying. You need, again, Capricorn is very sensitive, and with it ruling and that being there in the digestion area, because the moon rules digestion, you're going to definitely need to focus on this. Capricorn needs lots of healthy fats, but it needs to be the quote unquote right fats, or it rebels and you wind up with gallstones and other gallbladder issues. So you definitely need the good healthy fats like avocado oil, olive oil, nuts, seeds, butters, things like that, eggs, things that are good. But any of those like highly processed oils, your body will rebel against. Now your skin is very sensitive when you have Capricorn in this placement, and can lead to a lot of like rashes that come from what seems like no known reason. But a lot of times they're stress related. Capricorns don't do well with stress at all. And you have Neptune, no, sorry, not Neptune. You have Uranus and Jupiter in Cancer. So those energies are acting on to your moon over there, and they are literally creating issues too. So with that Uranus influence, rashes come and go for, again, what feels like no reason, but a lot of times it is stress. As soon as you get stressed out, you'll probably get a rash somewhere. Your body just doesn't do well with stress.
I used to a lot, not so much now.
Yes. So you've worked on that part, which is good. The Uranus part also lends to things not being absorbed as well as we would like them to be. It also acts on the moon and keeps some of that stuff down that you really need it to like do its job. So, and then you have Jupiter, which is expanding the energy, which kind of helps a little bit because it's kind of negating some of the negativity that, Uranus is bringing to that. But what you really need to focus on is good, healthy fats. You've already reduced the stress, so that's good. Get rid of the stress if you can. And making sure that your body is getting the Jupiter-ruled vitamins as well as the moon-ruled vitamins. So the moon-ruled ones are potassium and riboflavin. And the Jupiter-ruled ones are pantothenic acid, which is B5, and B6. It also does. And that's mainly it. The other ones are like really obscure ones that you get mainly through eating your diet. If you're eating whole foods, you should get those, so you don't really need to supplement those. But the B5 and B6 are probably a good thing to get. Other things that can cause skin issues is Venus not being in a happy position. And Venus is not in a happy position in your chart because she is in Scorpio. She doesn't like to be in Scorpio. So she rules vitamin E, which is absolutely essential for good skin health. So a good vitamin E oil that you can rub on your skin, or a good vitamin E supplement that you take. And you want to do around 800 milligrams daily if you do vitamin E as a supplement in pill form. And that can really help as well to increase that, because Saturn is conjunct your Venus, and it's really suppressing that as well. So you definitely need to increase the vitamins ruled by Venus for sure.
Okay.
And
Alright.
also do vitamin A because your sun is conjunct your Saturn as well, which suppresses the sun ruled things, which explains the thyroid issues because technically Taurus rules the thyroid, but Scorpio is its sister sign, and so you get a reflux from energy from that, and with your Saturn being so suppressive with all of these other Scorpio placements, that explains thyroid issues because your body struggles with uptaking iodine and using it. So you need to probably do an iodine supplement as well because iodine is ruled by the sun. And when you're not having enough of that, and also focus on gut health because we have a reflex from our gut health not being happy, it can affect our thyroid because it affects the Taurus ruled areas.
Can you talk to me about gut health? That I'm
Can we move forward with the show if that's okay?
absolutely. Oh my goodness. Thank you guys. That
Thank
was
you, Deborah. I mean,
We're up against our time.
in a way, I mean, it's so
yes,
good
yes.
for you guys
Please,
to get so much
yeah,
clear information. But if you do want to, you can always get a session with Ire.
yes.
And Ire, can you talk? I'm going to open your
Speaking of
page.
sessions, yes.
Yeah, speaking of sessions, here's the link on how you can get a discounted session with Ire.
Yeah, she was
Yeah,
really generous in giving us a special discount for this for our community.
Mhm.
Oh,
yep, I am doing the 45-minute health resets. These are in-person live things where we talk for 45 minutes about whatever health thing you have. We look at your chart, we look at the nutrition, we do intuitive stuff because I'm also a medical intuitive, and we just kind of piece it all together and give you a plan to start feeling better that's personalized specifically for you and what you need. I don't do one size fits all ever. It is always personalized for what your body needs to holistically heal. And these are great ways to really get some one-to-one time to really discuss things where we have more time to do that.
Fabulous. I mean, as you can see, just with like 5 to 10 minutes, where we go.
Right. And
Like, I
so
mean, and I really think that you need to get a recording and slow it down and take down every single note that she says, because there's something about this that I is really aligned. And if it's really aligned for you, I think you should probably trust that in your body, your system, your everything, right?
one thing I said to Jonathan, the privacy right here, was that we know, especially the people that are on this call, we know that there's no accidents, there's no coincidences. Everything is truly planned. And if we are actually living this kind of rendered experience here on Earth, then it makes sense that all of this would be already mapped out, right? We chose our parents, we chose our names, we chose when to come in. So, of course, this information of astrology would give you immense amounts of insights. And when I look at that compared to like sacred geometry, if you will, it and everything that we hear and we're learning, it of course it would be a way in which that you could improve upon your health, your wealth, all the things, right? And it starts with, how are you feeling? It starts with your health. And so if you really want insight into a way that I could never even, I don't think I could ever do, is what you do, the magic that you do, that she does for people, definitely seek her out for this session. I personally feel like I'm being called to one, and she's given us a really, really beautiful discount to do that. Now, if you're feeling called, do it quickly because there is a certain number that we would have to cut off because that's her personal time, and she is doing those sessions. So that's what we've got. If you're interested in that, you can look for her beautiful picture, and then you can see her special offer button right there on the live page. Also, we put it in the chat, and I will put it into the YouTube chat as well.
All right. Yes, did I not leave it up so that we scrolled all the way down to the price point of this session?
No, you haven't even. You didn't scroll down at all.
Oh, did I not even pull it up? I
No.
don't know. All right.
But we got such a great glimpse into what she does that I
Yeah.
think that
You
people
you
would be
know if
really
you need
excited.
it, you know if you want it. Yeah, it's discounted remarkably because we've twisted these speakers' arms and we've asked them for the best of the best, and to, you know, And what's their best offer that they can give us for a session like
And
this?
they're very, very
And they're
generous to do so.
generally really, really generous.
Mhm.
So there you go. I can't read it. Can you read it?
It's 127.
It's
Also,
127
if you
for a
want to go
single session.
and that's a one-on-one with you, and you saw what she can do in what just in the 5 minutes, the couple of minutes that she spent with people.
Look at all these
There's an
testimonials.
immense amount of information
Mhm.
that she provides, and of course, again, the medical intuitive too. I think that's something that she obviously was very meant to come here to do this beautiful work that she does.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm a nutritionist by education. I actually have a bachelor's degree and got my RD at one point and then let it go. So I know, we were talking on our previous show about adding B vitamins for people who have insulin resistance. And I knew enough from, education information around that. And, she just, talks about, yes, that's exactly the case. And here's also when we know we need it because your chart matches this one
Wow.
together. And I was just kind of, knowing what I know, which is minimal, and comparing it to the information she's giving me that's like lined up exactly. I'm just like, there's something really here. And, and again, I follow that gut instinct and I'm inviting you guys to know your knower and know when you need to choose and take action on greater wellness, greater health, greater ascension. Yeah. Are there anything else you want to say about this work and
You are right that I was called to it. It's literally in my chart
uh-huh.
about what I was called to do. And I've had Freya and Hell both show up and tell me that I am doing the right thing and
Oh,
to keep on it.
beautiful.
And they're pushing me into new things that are coming in the next, few
Oh,
years as well that I will release when it's time. But
Mhm.
yeah, it's my life path, and I love doing this. I love helping people heal, and doing it in a way that is sustainable and not overwhelming and relies on your own inner knowing as well too, because like if it doesn't
Mhm.
track or it doesn't feel right to do now, then don't do that part now, do the part that feels right now, right?
yeah.
And
Mhm.
do that and then start there, and we can always work with it. But it's an amazing thing that I've been blessed to be able to do, and I'm glad that I can be here and show it to people so they can find other ways to heal too, because what works for one person won't work for someone else. And yeah, if my style seems to fit or you feel called to it, I'd be happy to be here and help you.
Mhm.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Any parting words for us today, like a message that you'd like to leave for people?
Mhm.
Just trust your intuition and what your body's telling you. Those symptoms are there for a reason, and you may not know what they mean because you don't speak the language of symptoms, but that's why you seek someone out who does and listen to your intuition about who that person is and help you interpret what's going on and can figure it out, and we can get you on the path to health and wellness then.
Oh,
Oh,
beautiful. Thank you
that's
so much. And honestly, thank you so much for having the courage to really share this beautiful work with humanity. I think
mhm.
that I just got so many visions about what you'd be doing in the future. So let us know because we would love to come and continue to share your work
Yeah.
um, with with humanity as well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So when
definitely.
I was on the pre-call with her, she was like, even her name was given. Do you want to talk do you want
Oh,
to, it's itty bitty?
so
We got a
I,
couple of minutes.
We
I
gotta,
love
yeah,
stories like this.
it's
Yeah.
a cute
it's
story.
not my given name. My given name was something completely different. I never felt like it fit me, but you just think that it's because you don't like what your parents gave you.
Yeah.
But in 2022, I was out on our property in New Mexico and just walking around, and our property in New Mexico is just outside of Navajo sacred land. And so there's a lot of amazing energy there and stuff.
Mm.
And so I was out there just minding my own business when Freya appeared before me and told me that I was going by the wrong name. And I was like, this is the name my parents gave me. What do you mean? And she was like, that's not your name. You've been here for millennia. You've been down here on earth multiple times. You have to go by your actual name because that is what's going to give you the power to help all these people.
Oh,
You need that name.
beautiful.
Crazy.
And I was like, okay, well, what is it? Because like I don't even know what you're talking about, And she's like, well, your name is Iyer. And I was like, oh, okay. And she's like, and your last name was always Atla. You can choose that one again, or you can choose a different one. We don't care, but you have to go by Iyer at the very minimum. And I'm like,
Whoa.
Wow. Isn't that
okay.
crazy?
So I went ahead and I changed my name. And like literally 3 days after I did that, I got a message from hell that I was hiding still, and I needed to actually tell people I was using a medical astrology. I was doing consultations for nutrition and herbs and doing all this stuff, but I was never actually telling them. I was just doing it in the background.
Yeah.
And she's like, no, you have to do that. I got like a smack upside the head. And I was like, okay. So I started doing that. And since then, everything has like exploded. My business has
Oh,
been doing
bless.
super well. People have like come out of the woodwork and saying, I just felt called to come see you. And it was just like literally as soon as I changed my name and came out of the, witch closet, so to say,
Yes.
I
Yeah.
literally like things went kind of crazy because I was just following my path for real now. And so, yeah, I've been going by that name ever since.
Mhm.
And in a few years, I plan on actually legally changing it, but there's some stuff going on behind the scenes that I have to clear up first.
I
Sure.
feel like you're just beginning here
I
too.
love, love, love. And I love that you shared that with us because it really humanizes the experience and your humbleness to follow, to submit to your path.
Mhm.
And think that people find that really inspiring. So thank you. And thank you for being for being so courageous and following your path because, wow, we really need it now.
Yeah, no, we do. It was a little, I will say it was not easy, and I'm not going to make it sound like it was,
I
but
won't either.
it
Yeah, I know.
definitely was like, I even went and talked to my husband about it because I was like, I don't know, this sounds weird. And he's like, I don't know about you, but I wouldn't not do what Freya said. She seems like she'd come back
I
and
love
yell at
him.
you.
Oh, how
I was
awesome.
like, okay. My husband is very witchy in his own right, and he
Oh,
totally is
cool.
very supportive of me and all this stuff. So it's been fabulous having him on my team as well because he really, if you want to ask about what I do, if you ask my husband, he'll make me sound like I'm some kind of, amazing human being who does all this stuff.
Oh,
He really is my best cheerleader and
Oh,
oh,
support. So,
it's
bless.
so great to have these humanoid men that just are supporting us women these
We're
days.
just
yeah.
And
friends.
just, yeah, and just, yes,
Because
yes.
sometimes we may not find that in our spouse, but we can find that in each other.
Mhm.
And
Yeah,
so please reach out to each other too, so that you
Mhm.
can be each other's biggest cheerleader and some of our
yes.
craziness,
And
some
that's
of
why
our
we have a
lunatic.
community.
Exactly.
Yes.
I didn't want to plug it again, but I did feel like that was appropriate. So bless you and tell your husband we think the world of him for being your biggest cheerleader because you are definitely doing the work that you were meant to be doing. Yes.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah. Thank you for having me, guys.
Thanks so much. Wasn't that fun, you guys? I mean, I feel like I was sitting here with my phone writing notes.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, I'm doing some of these things.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just need another little reminder or nudge from somebody else, and you go, yeah, I'm gonna choose it. So, Lianka, you want to tell them how to join the community so that they can talk about some of these things
Yes.
behind the scenes and
So the easy way right now, if you are joining us on the live page, which we also call the dashboard, which is at houthustle.com/live, you'll see a button there and it says join the community. But if you don't, you can also just use the link and it's community.houthustle.com. And then basically it's its own app that sits outside of social media. And it's just a way for us to continue to what we call log the whispers, which are the clues
Mhm.
that we hear. Maybe they're just, you hear something one speaker said, or maybe it's a clue for you, right? Like I saw this sign and it was all these blue jays that were sitting outside of Janet's window right now that were just so noisy. So I can ask them, what's your message for me? And then I can share that with the community and they can also tell me what blue jays represent and they can chime in and let me know what they think about my message or if they feel like they might have a message that they want to share. But again, it's just a place where we can really come and be with other like-minded individuals that have these really unique experiences.
Yeah, where and in whisper mapping, it's question, choice, possibility, and how they flow. So if you've got some questions that you've got for the show or for various speakers, or even we love hearing what speakers you're really enjoying so that we can plan our next shows and keep them around, and what conversations you like. Do you like the nutrition conversations? Do you like the conversations about Atlantis? Do you like the conversations about 5D manifestation, which we're going to talk about next with Rama?
Yeah, we really want this
Mhm.
community to represent. It's all about y'all. Y'all are the best
Yeah.
part of what makes up this whole experience of How Hustle. And How Hustle has really been redefined as, I'll just say the quick little synopsis. We took two words that were traditionally had maybe emotional charge or had some charge to it. And How is kind of a play on words where it's like, oh, haute couture. But really, what's How and what's what's really out today is products, services, brands, ideas that bring us into the new earth, that are sustainable, that are better for each other, our
Mhm.
communities, stuff that we would recommend for our children. And even if there's a premium on that, it's still worth it because it is for the betterment of all. And again, it could be an idea, right? So a lot of these speakers come with an idea that we can adopt that's new and better for tomorrow. And then hustle, instead of it being, this grind, I always like to say Dolly Parton's work your fingers to the bone, 9 to 5. It really is a dance. It has its own inertia. It moves as a movement around the world because it's done through collaboration, and mainly because it's done because it is for the betterment of all. And so when you have that type of energy, it can move itself around. And again, it's really when you're operating and you're doing stuff in flow. So it doesn't feel like a hustle and grind. It really is that beautiful dance that we can have with life.
Mhm. All right.
I didn't know if you
Do you
needed a
need a,
break.
do you need a break?
I'm good.
I can take a break.
Yeah, you
Okay.
go.
Talk about the cauldron.
Okay. So she mentioned the cauldron, and the cauldron is our drawing that we are doing to entice you or incentivize you to make some comments on our social media. Our social media is at Instagram, so it's at How Hustle Live, or on TikTok at How Hustle Live. Or you can also make your comment on YouTube. If you just take a screenshot of the comment and you send it to team@howhustle.com, that will ensure that we'll see your comment and make sure that you get entered to win a session from either Jeneth and I. So that will be a personal one-on-one session. They're usually worth about $400 plus. So you'll be registered to win for that. And remember, each comment, if we see some extra ones during the day, that means that you get some extra ones to be entered into the cauldron, and we'll put your names in here. And don't feel like we haven't seen you, because we've already seen the ones that have been commenting, and we've got you in here for sure. Any other questions that you might have? Or if you have some comments that you feel like you can't share on the community or anywhere else, be sure to send those in. We want to know how people are feeling and how they're responding to some of this information. And you can do that at team@howhustle.com. What else do I have for us? If you don't know, we are also on all of the different podcasts. So you can also listen to any of our live shows or our summits during the off summit time. So in our live shows, we have those that are rebroadcast to the podcast. So anywhere that you get your pods, you can listen to us on audio as well. And then we're on YouTube with our newer channel there as well. And you can watch the actual videos there. You just simply search for Hout and Hustle. Anything else that somebody might want to chime in and ask? I can give a little bit of insight to anyone, or maybe you might be experiencing something that you have from the summit. If anybody wants to write in on the chat or raise their hand and just kind of let us know what you're experiencing. Let's see on this chat over here. So if you see me over here on this side, I am also running the live stream chat. So you can always put the information in on our live stream chat over on YouTube as well. Don't forget that there's a lot of information that's been coming out through this summit. And last week, Jeneth and I did what we called the Jolt Wake series. And that basically was these moments that we've had throughout the summits from before. It was hard to pick only a couple of the summit days. We could only pick 5 because there's Monday through Friday. Of these moments that really have jolted us awake. because to believe that we can have these really unique experiences or maybe true change from a podcast. Well, let me just say this. Anywhere where you may be on the line right now and you're like, I hear y'all, but maybe this change isn't, and everybody else is getting change, but maybe I'm not the one, or maybe I can't get any change from just a podcast or a summit. Would you be willing to destroy and uncreate that now, please? Oh, and take a breath. Great. Anywhere where you're like, yeah, 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 I understand, but maybe I'm not really receiving. And you feel like you have to understand this in order to receive. Would you destroy and create? Yes. You see, this information still works on the subconscious level, and everything that we're doing and experiencing is also being recorded in the Akash. And so there's not any extra things that you would have to, with your mind, know. Ooh, that is spirit coming through. Y'all can hear the change in my voice. Uh, that you would have to know in order to experience or receive change here in this moment. And many times those are the belief systems that keep us blocked only because it thinks that our ego wants to keep us safe. So anywhere where you are blocking, resisting, um, playing a role of show me or disbelief in any of the magic that's available for us, would you be willing to destroy and create now? And any blocks that you have to this information and hearing it because of this lifetime or a past one or persecution for fear that knowing the information means that you have to work with the information, which means that your life could get more badass in every single way. Would you be willing to destroy and create now, please? Yes, and take a breath. Awesome. All right, so what I was trying to tell you is about the VIP pass. So you don't have to go through all this information all at one time. Yes, this current summit will be open for another 7 days, but if you do upgrade to the VIP pass, the nice thing about it is that you'll get, not only will you get this summit, but you'll get the 7 seasons before, and you get every other season that we do in the future. And we really wanted to do that because, well, A, it helps to support the show, but B, because we really believe that this work builds on each other and that when we receive from the different speakers, it could be different times in our life. There are many of those different calls, Jeneth, like you've done, is gone back and listened to them again. And at first you're like, I couldn't hear that. I couldn't receive that in that way. And then maybe some catalyst has changed, and then all of a sudden you're like, what? Oh my gosh, I re-listened to Ambajam's call and man, I am a different person.
Mhm.
And you can do that with all of the different many interviews that we've done, of course, across all of the different seasons, and that's just $97. You can find that right there on the live page if you click my upgrade to VIP.
We also have two specials that are happening just
And that's right.
today and tomorrow. One is my Dragon Voyage series. It's half off using the code Dragon26. You can get it for just $22. And we also have a previous program that I did called Clearing the Noise, Be Magic. And you can get that also at half off, making it it's I think $37 regular, so half off it's hardly nothing. And that is at Magic 26. So both of those links apply for today and tomorrow. Both of those are also on the live page, which you can find at houthustle.com/live. So if you want the summit bonus things from us, then that's where you can grab that. And if
You
you ever have any questions, you can email us at team@houthustle.com.
also, while you're there at the live page, and you can check out any of the different specials that we have, any special offer at our shop page, and that's at shop.howtussle.com.
Yeah, thank you. Rama, can I bring you up and have you test your mic real quick?
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you perfectly.
Good.
Thank you very much.
Mhm.
I'm so excited about this call after talking with you for like an hour and a half. It felt like it might not have been that long, but it was just, oh my goodness, I was just like obsessed. All right, let's go ahead and get started here. The brand new recording. Hello, everyone, and welcome. I'm Jeneth Blackert.
And I'm Leonka Reina,
This is the Hustle Mystic Morning Show, your
your
community
community
go-to
go-to
for
for woo,
woo.
what we call the Whispers of Oneness Summit.
And today we're talking with Rama Leaf. We are talking about 3D to 5D and how to do things back and forth as a multi-dimensional being. It should be quite a dynamic call, so strap on your space boots because we're going to have some fun here. Rama, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Excited to have this conversation and dive into
Yeah.
all this with everyone. So thank you for having me.
I almost feel like just giving you the floor and saying, where do you want to start here?
I want to start actually that this is funny that I'm here because I did have a premonition I'd be on your show a year ago. I didn't tell you that when we had our conversation, but I already knew that eventually I would be here. So thank you
That's very
for
lovely.
inviting me. Isn't that amazing?
That is, I
Um,
love it.
yeah, so many synchronicities that come through, which is
Mhm.
the most fun. So my name is Rama Leith, and I've gone through just even in the amount of time that I've been doing this work, I've gone through so many transformations and bringing in different gifts and being able to work with different modalities and so forth. And so I am a medical intuitive, but I also am a highest timeline activator, which has been given to me as a title from my guides, which was like, you are not just doing one thing to assist people, you're assisting them on all levels of what they're needing in this timeline, in this body. And then also a holistic health coach. So I have my background is I have a master's in public health, health science, health education, and also functional nutrition. So I bring that into holistic healing. So I work with people and coaching them through that. And then I also am a multidimensional healer. So I have guides, angels, ancestors, galactics that come in, and I work on people on doing the healings that they need spiritually, emotionally, physically, and so forth. So that's kind of a little bit about my modalities and what I do, but there's,
I
yeah.
want you to tell a little bit about your story because that's when I was like, holy crap, a moly.
And also, will she be taking calls today?
We can demonstrate your work however you want. If you want to take callers, then we can queue up some callers in the way you want to. If you want to do an open group activation, we can do that. So
Yeah,
we'll just
so
follow
my
the
guides
energy here.
came through right before here, and they gave me, and it's so funny because they gave me a healing activation they want me to do that's
Hmm.
CPR.
Wow.
Just came through, so it's CPR, but it's not CPR and how we think of CPR.
Sure.
It's
All
just
right.
the acronym CPR, and
That's what
so
I
I'll
gathered.
explain. Yeah, so I'll explain it further when we
Okay.
get to the activation, but
Great.
it'll be for the whole group because that's what
Uh-huh.
they're saying that it needs to come through. So I'm excited to do that, but I just laughed very hard when they said it was CPR. So I thought that would be very fun because we're all
Right.
looking to have to be activated and
Yeah,
to let
yeah.
that energy come
Yeah,
back
that
into
reads.
us and so forth. So yeah.
That is funny.
Resuscitate
So
us for
you're coming.
5D.
Do you have,
Resuscitated.
I know.
Exactly.
Do you have a little bit of humor between you and your guides?
Oh, so much.
Me
Oh,
too.
yes. Yes.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Even if you look at one of my testimonials, I put on there that this person was like, there's so much humor in when we have our healings and so forth. The guides bring
Hmm.
things through that relate to that person, but there's also imagery, there's also humor, they show different things. So it's kind of fun to be
Oh, I
able to
love that.
go through all of that.
Well,
Yeah.
tell us a little bit about your backstory because I really feel like that humanizes people and it also people find that really inspiring.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll say I had no idea about the modalities that I do now. I never heard of any medical intuition or any of those types of things. So when this all came online for me, it was my soul wanted this to happen, obviously. And with my background in health, like I mentioned, health education, health science, public health, I ran multi-million dollar grants to help, create healthier lifestyles and so forth in populations. But none of that ever really fit with what I wanted to do. Like I felt like I need to be working more one-on-one with people. And I did teach college for a number of years, which was great because I did get to do that teaching. But I also felt like there was some of that information wasn't correct. I'll just put that out there. Some of it wasn't exactly what was going on, but I had to teach what I was being told to teach. So with that, I went through years and years and years until my body broke down. And so with that, there was just a lot of pain, a lot of anxiety, depression, frustration, and I just didn't feel good in my being, in who I was and my thoughts about myself. And so with that, with all the pain, all those medical things start happening. And that's one of the things I'm going to talk about today is how our body is really a messenger. It's sending us those symptoms to pay attention that something's off. It's physical, spiritual, mental, emotional. So all those different things can be what's kind of throwing us off. And at that time, of course, I didn't know what all that meant. I didn't know I was in pain. And Leonka, yeah, digestive stuff, big time.
Yeah.
That was a big time thing for me. Oh my gosh, so much. Where I wasn't able to digest, so I wasn't even getting the nutrients, but also then, excreting, that wasn't
Yeah.
something that happened for me either. So very tied into that emotional body. And that's very tied to the solar plexus as well, which is, an energy center where we can hold on to a lot of that tension and that fear and that anxiety. And so that for me was very tied into that. And when you have your body in that fight or flight freeze, where you're just like, I don't know how I'm supposed to move forward. I don't feel good. I don't know what's going on. We then often go to the doctors, right? So we go go talk to the medical professionals and ask them like what's going on. And for me, there wasn't anything. Like they were like, we don't know. Try this medication. Try this medication, and nothing worked, right? Because while there was some physicality to it, it was mainly emotional. It was mainly spiritual. It was my body saying, hey, you need to get out of this that you're in right now because something better is waiting for you. And
Oh,
so yeah, so I didn't know what that meant at the time, right? So I went through a lot of struggle. Like I need a diagnosis, I need this, I need that, I need the medication, and really was in that 3D mindset. And that's where 3D is really prominent. And a lot of people are living in that state. Like if I get a diagnosis, then I know what to do. Then I'm not crazy. Then people will believe me, all those types of things that is a natural way of dealing with dis-ease, frustration, thinking that there has to be an answer.
right.
And sometimes the answer is how we're moving through the earth, how we're living in our body, and how we're listening to our body is not working. And that's what the sign is telling us. So for me, I quit my job. I quit my job and I was like, okay, this is not working. Working on spreadsheets and grants all the time was not giving me that one-on-one that I wanted to have with people to assist in healing. But I didn't know what any of that looked like. So I quit my job to go on my own healing journey. I really knew that there had to be a different way. There had to be something else that could be done. And I had this wholehearted body belief that I could heal myself. Like that I didn't have to be in disease, that I didn't have to have pain, that I didn't have to have this emotional turmoil all the time. But I,
Yeah.
again, did not know how to do that, right?
Right.
So I had no idea. And so that leaving the job was my very first step. And I'll tell you, this is another thing that happened way before I even had my awakening. I was in a different job. And I was there and I was like, okay, well, I guess this is the one I'm going to be at forever. This is what I'm going to
Yeah.
do. And I literally, okay, husband, literally, I'm using correctly. I heard no. And I was like, I hadn't had guides, I didn't have any of that connection, but I heard no. And I was like, what do you mean no? Like this is I could retire
Oh,
doing this job, this is fine, da da da. And I just heard no. And I was like, oh, I'm getting all the chills. Woo. And I didn't know what that meant at that time. but that job was gone within 3 months. So this was supposed to be something like, I'll retire doing this. And the
Forever,
guys were like,
right?
nope, this is
Yes.
not it. We're not
Yep.
letting you think it. You're not
Have
letting you
that
think it.
happen.
You're leaving this situation and you're leaving it soon. And so, yeah, yeah, that took me onto the trajectory. And then I was like, well, I'm going to get another job, So then I got that job. And then
Yep.
that's when my body was like, are you friggin' kidding me? Like, didn't we give you already the message that you need to
Yeah.
move on from this? Yeah. And so
Yeah.
anyway, so that's what kind of started the journey. And what happened as a result of that, and I just want to put this out to people, if you're feeling like you're not aligned, you're feeling like your body is not loving you back, that there is a reason. Like that is your body telling you that there's more for what you're here to do, and that you can heal yourself. And those symptoms are a result of it screaming at you, literally
Yes.
screaming at you
Yes.
for a long, long time. And it's in the auric field. And then as it comes in, then it manifests inside the body. And that's, our thoughts, our beliefs, all those types of things are kind of bringing that into that, our trauma, all the things that have happened are bringing that into our body. So that's really how the 3D works.
Hmm.
When I was um, going through my healing journey, that's when I opened up to like finding all of these, all the different modalities, which is that her name?
Yes.
That your medical astrology, completely new to me. So I'm excited. I was here to witness
Yeah.
that. That blew
Yeah.
my mind. And you will be getting a call from me because I want you on my summit.
Right?
Oh,
I
I
want
love
you on my
this.
summit
Yes.
to bring you to so many of my population as well, my
She's
community.
neat.
That was incredible. I haven't seen that, and so that's what's so
Hmm.
fun about summits and about doing things like
Yes.
this is like you get to see and learn so much. So when I went on my healing journey, I threw myself into summits. I threw myself into books. I threw myself
Hmm.
into shows. Anything and everything I could find to see how I could learn how to heal myself and how other people have done it, those
Hmm.
past life situations, as well as there's near death situations, and learning about medical intuition. And so I just would sit in the grass, feet on the ground, and I would just meditate. And I didn't know about I didn't meditate. I didn't do, like, I was a high stress person, a very high stress person. So I was like,
Right.
I can't close my mind down.
Yeah.
I'm like, how am I gonna heck am I gonna sit here and meditate? So for me, the way that it worked was if I started from my feet and worked up and sent love to all the different parts of my body while
Oh,
I
how
was sitting
beautiful.
in the grass. And with that, I was healing my body. So I was coming in and I
Hmm.
was bringing in that energy, and I was like, okay, going through everything. And I would feel like a vibration change when I was at a place in my body that was feeling off. And I was like, okay, I'm going to spend more time sending love to that area, because that's what it really needs, is that love, that acknowledgement, that appreciation. And so I would do that. And after not too long of doing that, um, I found a medical intuitive from one of these types of shows,
Yeah.
and I had a session with her, and it was incredible because I was feeling like this is it. This is my thing. This is what I'm
Yeah.
supposed to do, right? And just still like, oh yeah, right. Yeah, right. Like that's really my path. Sure. I would love it, but how's that ever gonna happen? And so I had that session with her, and then when I was in the session, different guides came in. So Yeshua, Archangel Raphael, Saint Germain, so many other different guides came in, and I was like, oh, you mean they love me? You mean like they're
Oh.
here for me? Like I had so much
Hmm.
self-doubt, that unworthiness, that like I was worthy of love, or I was worthy of the guides and angels to be around me or support me. I was like, that's for other people. Like everybody else has that. Nope, nope, they're not here for me. So you definitely those unworthiness, feelings.
Yeah.
But when I let that in, oh, I'm getting more chills again. So when I let that in and was really allowing myself to see that love is all around us and they are all around us. Then
Yes.
when I went back and sat in the grass and was loving my body, guess what? The guides started coming in.
Oh,
The guides started coming in
beautiful.
and talking to me. The angels started coming in. The elementals started coming in. So it was just everything opened up. And then, of course, I was like, I am going crazy.
Yeah.
How is this happening? Like, I don't
Uh,
understand. Um, and and there's so many things that come along with that. You're seeing like different lights, and so I'm going to the eye doctor, and I'm like, what's happening? Am I like, is there what's going on? They're like, no, no, no. And I do have a vision problem, but it's not associated with the lights. And so, just kind of things like that. And then when you start expanding, your heart starts expanding. You start having more heart palpitations because you're expanding. Your energy is expanding, your light's expanding. And so I'd go to the doctor for that. I was like, I'm having heart palpitations. And they're like, no, everything's fine. I'm like, okay. So, I do recommend getting things checked out if you're worried about things, but sometimes it's just you're growing energetically. Like
yeah.
you're letting
Yes.
in more light, you're letting in more of the energy and the guidance of your guides and angels. And that is part of moving into the 5D is when you'll be
Hmm.
able to really experience those types of
Well,
things.
and what I would like to say, even allowing our belief to receive that, because I think that even a couple years ago, I was still doing this duality. It's like I got these bladder infections, it seemed like all the time, every other month or something. And I would be like, well, I guess I'll take some Domanos, right? Because that's my alternative homeopathic solution for it. And yet, really, I was lacking flow. It was like my control was so up that, and I didn't become aware of this until I did a physical detox. And then it's like it fixed everything.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like simple things that you are like, I'm ignoring. I'm going to take an antibiotic. I'm ignoring. I'm going to take an antibiotic. I'm going to pee after sex kind of thing.
Yeah.
Uh, but yeah, I think that it's important for us to know that it's our body trying to get our attention.
I think it's the biggest thing.
Yeah.
Uh, and then also, I
Absolutely.
think that I don't know if you see this with some of your clients, and maybe by the time they come to you, they've already really kind of received that. But what I find is that some people get it on the intellectual level. They're like, "Yeah, my body's trying to tell me something,"
Mm.
right? And then they'll go see the doctor or whatnot, and then sometimes they're treating symptoms again. And instead of really asking their body what it really needs, it sounds like for you, what jumped in my mind was, wow, she intuitively knew to send her whole body love, right? She didn't know how to do this, but she knew how to do this
Hmm.
because she just leaned into it. And if we were to do that, we would receive more. What are you finding with your clients that how do you get them to that place where they're not it's not just this information but more of this is real.
Yes.
Yeah. Well,
Yes.
I want to say this is funny because the R in CPR is receive. So we will, we will,
Okay.
Well, maybe
Well,
we will
soon
yeah,
we'll maybe we have this conversation after we do the CPR.
let's do
yeah.
it.
Yeah. You want to do it right now?
Sure.
Yeah, I
Okay.
feel like
All
that's
right.
going to
I
take us into
yeah.
a bigger conversation.
Yeah. So the way I work, I have guides and angels that come in and they assist me. So I call them in. So really important for everyone who's listening to close your eyes and really envision the imagery that they're showing
Hmm.
and the energy that they're providing. So this is raising your frequency, and that's the frequency to put you into a state of healing and a state of receiving. And so really imagining and imagining puts you, I always say like your imagination is your biggest gift. And I'll say, like, I didn't feel like I had much of an imagination before all this stuff started coming in. So that I even have all this happening is so shocking to me. But that your imagination is that gift of being able to see the next level. And with that imagination is holding that frequency. So it's not just like, I imagine this, and so this is now going to happen. It's imagining it and then holding the frequency of that whatever you're experiencing at that level of receiving, of knowing, of embodying. So all of that energy just coming through so that you're feeling all of it. And then that's able to bring it into your reality.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
And I
just
think,
from a whisper earlier, I just feel
yeah,
like I just want to add this one sentence. Uh, Jules talked really about that imagination, you know, to, yes, you can imagine it, but you can also become it. And I think that's what you're alluding to, but I wanted
Mhm.
to put those words in for the conversation.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hmm.
And I think that sometimes we get caught up in, this is another 3D part. We get caught up in like the diagnoses, and that holds us back from being able to see and imagine a
Yeah.
different reality.
Yep.
And so sometimes I feel like, and I was a person, of course, that was like searching for the diagnosis. There's got to be, I don't want to be crazy, or this has got to be real, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then when we get that diagnosis, then that becomes us. That's our reality now.
Yeah.
I mean, what do you do immediately once you get a diagnosis? You're Googling, you're chat
Yeah.
GPT, you're like, okay, what's the symptoms? Do I have that? How's it going to get worse? Like, what am I expecting? What's my outcomes? Like, you go down that path where now you've become that person with that illness versus like a person that is able to heal everything because you're a divine being and that
Yes.
is all at your disposal.
Or worse, I find that people like with the whole fuck cancer like campaign, worse, people become not only the person that has cancer, but the person that fights cancer, right?
Mm.
So like it really perpetuates that energy. I
Yeah.
just wanted to say that.
No, I think
Yeah.
that's important. I think it's important for us to keep, saying things so
I
that
agree.
people really get it.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like we repeat
I
a lot, but it's like we want it in your bones.
yeah. Yes, because there's
Yeah.
a different way, a different way, a different way to heal.
Hmm.
Yeah.
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 And I love that you brought that up, the fight, because
Hmm.
we've been, I mean, that is the language, right? And I know you guys talk about
Yeah.
how powerful words are.
Yeah.
And when we're talking about fighting, that's an energy that's
Yes.
not positive. It's not, it's constrictive, it's restrictive, it's not empowering, it's not loving, it's not expansive. It's
It's
more of
not
that.
generative.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
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 Exactly. And so again, when I work with people and when the guides come in, it's all a loving energy. So
Hmm.
we're pulling out some of that energy that's not in alignment with that person. But like I mentioned, when I sit down and I do this every morning too, put my hand on my heart, hand on my stomach, and just send love to my body and the Ho'oponopono, thank you
Yeah.
and love you, all that kind of stuff. Just to really let it know I'm here and I'm listening because I did not listen for a very long time. And
We weren't
so
taught to.
yeah, we were
No.
not taught to. And so I agree with you. And I feel those of us that are in that pain, that are in that diagnosis, and that are living from that place, no fault of yours, because that is how society taught us how to do this, right?
Yeah.
This now you have this diagnosis and this is your situation and it's perpetuated, through lots of systems. But if you can spend that time sending that love to your body and sending love to those areas in your body, and like I was doing from the bottom up, just moving everywhere up, it's also better to do that than just focus on that one place because everything is connected, right? Like everything is connected. So if we're just focusing on the one place, just send the love to all of it because it all needs your love, your appreciation,
Hmm.
and that's really where the embodiment comes in. That's really where we have our sense of self and our flow of energy and that vitality and so forth.
Yeah.
So that's what I would recommend versus the fight, but more of the love and sending that love to our
I just
body.
And
want to add one other piece
go ahead.
about that. You know, that fight, that's making the assumption that something is wrong instead of it just being out of alignment, right? Like, what if your body is the voice and it's just saying, hey, we need to recalibrate here?
Mhm.
Yeah. Which is
Absolutely.
also goes back to that encouragement that you just said.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hmm.
Yeah. Recalibrate. And you will see that when people have certain illnesses or certain pain in their body or how they're holding their body or how they're walking, I can look at people and almost immediately know kind of what's going on with them just from looking at them. Um, because your body transforms based on your symptoms, and your symptoms are based on a lot of times your emotions, your trauma, things that have happened in your life. So you can see that through how people carry themselves, how they talk about themselves, how their body is their body composition. There's many different ways of physically looking at someone and seeing that before even going in and checking what's going on. But there's quite a few different things going on, I think.
Mhm. Well, let's go into the CPR.
Okay. I just love that they gave me that name. That just makes me laugh so
I
hard.
know, me too.
So, yeah, we're gonna see what they want to do with this. They had given me a couple different things a couple days ago, so I'm wondering if they're gonna bring that through as well. This could be, I don't know, it could be like 15 minutes. Is that too
That's
long?
great.
Or
Yeah, that's okay.
okay, okay. So I just wanted to,
We'll receive.
Yep.
okay, yeah, that's the R. Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you all want to close your eyes. And again, we're going to focus on your imagination. The guides are going to come through and they're going to give you beautiful imagery. They're going to give you words and attunements and clearings and bringing in. So there's many different actions that are come through here. So just allow this to flow through you. So take a deep breath in through your nose and release. Another deep breath in through your nose. And release. And with all these out breaths, just feel your body getting heavier. Another deep breath in through your nose. And release. Okay, so I'm calling in the guides, angels, well ancestors, and galactics. Calling on all of your higher selves. Everyone here that's supporting you in your highest and best, your highest timeline. In this divine frequency of love, peace and harmony, balance and oneness. Only those of the highest love and light are allowed to be in this space at this moment. Calling in the guides, Archangel Michael, Archangel Raphael, Saint Germain, Yeshua, Mother Mary, Kuan Yin, Melchizedek, and all other guides and angels that are here to assist in this beautiful healing at this moment in this time. Thank you, thank you. Okay. So they're showing up and they're encircling. So all of you are as a collective, they're showing me as one body, but all of you are in this collective of the oneness. And so I'm seeing all the guides and angels that are surrounding you. And as they're surrounding you, they're bringing in this high energy, this high frequency of love and connection, peace, blessings, and healing. So that energy is just flowing to you and flowing through you. And this beautiful light is now encircling you. Purple and green. It's like an aurora just circling around you and through you. Orange and yellow. And crystalline energies and light. This high frequency vibration as your body is just receiving and opening for all this beautiful healing to come through. And so they're asking me to ask you all to repeat after me. I am open, willing, and allow to have a complete and miraculous healing today. And this is really just allowing your energy and your psyche to allow this energy to come through. A big word that they keep giving me that they want people to experience is allowing. We have so much constriction around that. And so they're just wanting all of this energy to be allowed to flow through you. If you don't want this to happen, then, don't repeat those words, but this is for all of you. So we want all of you to receive if you're ready and willing. Okay. Okay. So the CPR, and this is, they're saying that there's a lot of people right now that have been, they're not feeling very safe. So not feeling safe in their bodies, not feeling safe in society, feeling like there's so much happening inside and outside of them that's pulling them out of their alignment. And this is bringing that disordinate energy. And they're saying we really need to be grounded. And a lot of spiritual people, a lot of people that are going through pain, we pull ourselves out of that grounded moment because we're like, I want to connect with my gifts. I want to, connect with source. And that is awesome. We definitely want to do that as well. But what they're saying is like, to do that, we do have to be in our body. We do have to be embodied. We do have to love our body, and we have to feel safe, and we have to feel connected and able to receive, and also to put out in the world and share our gifts. And so all of that is a part of this, to be able to be fully in this embodied body, because we are here. We are here for this time, and we've all been brought in to do the work that we need to do to move us into that higher state of alignment and stability. So they're starting with the root chakra, and this is the area where they're saying, okay, so they're bringing down the roots that are going down into the earth, and just bringing up that root chakra to a higher vibration. Yeah, they're saying that this is a very stuck chakra for a lot of people, and it has been for me as well. So I'll just say that too, with the safety, with the worthiness, with the ability to have your gifts open, and your connection to the oneness, connection to your guides, connection to your tribe, even your family. We've been seeing a lot of family being disconnected. So there's been a lot of disconnection within this chakra and not feeling that connection. So the C is connection in the CPR, connection. And so we're really working on that chakra right now to bring in that frequency of connection and safety for all of you. So take a deep breath and just feel that energy move through the lower part of your body. And this is the first chakra, the root chakra, which is in the very lowest of your abdomen and in the perineum. And so that energy just flows through down to Mother Gaia. And people that have issues with this chakra might also have more constipation, more diarrhea. They might have some reproductive things happening as well sometimes. That also is aligned with this sacral. But some of that might be flowing through, or just don't feel grounded, or feel overly having, not overly, but just having a lot of hard feelings, or difficult emotions sometimes. So that can be part of being not grounded and not feeling that connection and that safety. So they're just working on that. Okay. And bringing in that red, vibrant energy, that connection energy. Okay. Where is everybody at right now with their sacral or their root chakra? Where were they prior? Okay, so this is pretty common when I'm working on a big group, that the average is about 60%. So when we came in, I got a 60% is where you all were before we started working on this. And now I'm getting you at 100%. So bringing in that safety, bringing in that connection, bringing in that oneness energy, that connection with your tribe, and allowing you to feel grounded in your body and safe in your body. Okay, so now we're going to move up. So now we're moving up to the solar plexus. Okay, where are we with the solar plexus? Okay, again, 60. So this is, again, is very common when I'm working with a large group, that 60% is the average. Okay. Okay. And this is the solar plexus has to do with our passion and our motivation and our projection of our energy, of our light, of the gifts that we're here to share with the world. And so we could use passion or projection. Before they gave me projection, but they gave me passion as the first word this time. So your passion or projection, however you want to look at it, that is where you are able to share your gifts, share your light, know you have gifts, know you are light, you're a light being, you are divine, you are source, all of the energy of your abilities to be who you are and what you're meant to be in this timeline, on this planet, in this body, so that you can really be in your utmost oneness with yourself and with creation. So they're going to bring in, okay, so they're showing for this one, because this is an area they're saying that quite a few people have kind of closed down okay, so they're showing kind of like sunken in, like your shoulders are kind of hunched over. And this is not only for the solar plexus, but it's also for the heart, which is where we're going to go next. And so they're saying, like, just open your arms wide, just expand yourself. You are a divine being. Yay! You're amazing. And so they're just showing that this beautiful yellow golden light is now expanding outside of your solar plexus, and it's moving out through your aura, and it's just surrounding you and encasing you in this beautiful golden light. They're also saying that the sun is so important for us, and this is a big part of this, and the solar plexus is tied to the sun as well, that beautiful golden light, that golden energy, and that getting out into the sun and allowing your body to bring in these light codes and this healing energy and that frequency of the sun, and especially in the morning and the evenings, that golden light, that orange, beautiful light, just bringing that into all your cells, because you are a light body, you are crystalline, and all that energy is coming through and helping vibrate and open up all of that within your body, within your spirit, within your soul, all that beautiful energy, allowing you to open up to all your gifts. Okay, where are we now? Okay, good. We're at 100% there. Okay, so we're going to go through the last one, which is the receiving, but they're doing an infinity sign, and it's going from your root chakra to your solar plexus and back down to your root chakra and back to your solar plexus. So they're bringing this energy, they're tying this energy into the safety and your sense of self and putting yourself out in the world and being able to heal yourself. You are your own divine healer. So being able to allow that energy to flow freely with the connection to oneness and all that is. Okay, so now they're going to move on to the heart chakra. Where are we at with the heart chakra? Again, 60%. Okay, so the heart chakra is the receiving, like it was mentioned. So that's the R in the CPR. So the receiving and just having that energy be able to, so many of us, and this was my story, I had so much trauma. And with that trauma and that feeling unworthy and not good enough and not lovable and all those things, I had built up heart walls, and heart walls meaning like blockades around me so that I couldn't be hurt. And they're saying this is so, so common in so many of the population, that we've built up these heart walls. I even remember a time just sitting there and saying, I'm never going to love. Like, I'm not loving. Loving's hard. I don't want to do it. It hurts. I'm never going to love anyone. And immediately those heart walls came up, and that caused so much restriction and constriction and not feeling connected and not having, that reciprocal love. And so they're saying that right now what we're going to do is we're going to pull down those heart walls, because we need to receive that love from the divine, that love from our guides and angels, that love from the people in our lives, and especially that love for self. And that is really where we need to have that energy to allow us to open up to our gifts, to our connection, to being who we are meant to be in this body, in this timeline, in this dimension that we're here to really tune into and be at oneness with. Okay, so receiving. So they're showing me that this is So chakras, they're from the front, from the back. A lot of people are having back pain because they're not receiving, and there's that wall up. And so sometimes that's like a fear of being stabbed in the back. That's kind of the thing that they're showing me is some of you have felt like, I don't want to open my heart because I'll be stabbed in the back, that someone will hurt me. And that's kind of that physical, look at that. And so they're saying, we're gonna move that out. We don't need that thought because we are safe in receiving. And those that are supposed to, every experience we have is something to learn from. And when we stop thinking of like, it's going to hurt, it's going to be hard, I don't want to, da, 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 that's the constricting, which then causes more of that back pain, which then causes more of that feeling like you aren't able to be your authentic self. So they're just kind of moving that energy out and bringing in more of that flow and that light. They're bringing in very beautiful crystalline light energy into that heart chakra. Okay. And they're also bringing in, okay. So they're bringing in a beautiful emerald crystal that they're placing in that heart chakra. And as it's just moving in, all that energy, all those facets of light are just shining out from that beautiful crystal, just radiating your love and your beauty and your grace, your creation, and allowing you to radiate out and to bring in and infuse that into your heart chakra, all that love, divinity, and oneness. Okay, where are we now? Okay, good. We're good. Okay, so now they're doing the infinity sign, and it's coming from the heart to the solar plexus and back to the heart and solar plexus and the heart and solar plexus, and then from the heart into the root. So they're just doing infinity signs, creating this circuit. So there's been a lot of us have had one or more of those energy centers offline because the circuit wasn't able to connect it. And so we really need all of these energy centers to connect. And the reason they wanted to do these three is because it's very tied to being embodied. It's very tied to loving your body, healing your body, allowing your body to be in that divine flow so that you can be more open in the crown and the third eye, which I know a lot of us want our gifts to open up. And they're saying these are areas that we need to focus on before we even go to that, because we really need to feel comfortable and safe, grounded, loved, honored, and being able to receive all of that with grace and peace and oneness and knowing that we're all worth it. Okay, so now the guides are doing the infinity sign over the head, across the heart, and under the feet, back up across the heart and over the head. And this is sealing in the energy for all of you. So they're showing, I've been seeing it as one person, which is all of your energy. And so that has been completely closed off to heal, to be in the oneness, bringing you all back into this divine balance and flow, feeling the energy just flow through you, all of the love, the connection, the receiving. Just allowing all of that. Take another deep breath in. Just let that settle into your body. And release. And when you're ready, you can move your fingers and toes. Open your eyes, come back into your body, feeling completely refreshed, healthy, healed, and whole.
I'd love to hear what you guys are sensing in the chat, please. I have some really interesting information. Lianka opened a notebook, so I think she has some interesting information too.
Good.
One of the things I got was cute that you're wearing these human costumes, but you're all communicating the galactic, the angelic, and all the realms.
Yeah.
It's
Mm-hmm.
a lot of the people that are on the line know that my husband is a scientist, like got a PhD in chemistry. and yet he's an energy healer as well. And it's like he's like, I don't know how it works,
He did it before.
but he wants to know, right? And I feel like this is finally coming through, that the weirdness that we've tried to hide is now here for us. And it was just so
Mhm.
interesting to hear, I hear telepathically from these Arcturians, and they're like, yeah, this is alien architects thing. Basically, she literally is timeline activating by sending you these transmissions. And then they're like, as do most of your other speakers as well.
How funny.
And I thought that was just like, and as you are, and as Lianka is. I mean, it was just like, not just,
It's everyone on this line
yeah, everyone on this line, they know
and
like
listening on
deep,
replay.
deep down that
Yeah.
they're called
Yep.
to this weirdness. Yeah. I mean, it's
Right.
truly beautiful.
What that brought up for me, Jeneth, was a dream that I had way before. I mean, I was like probably in my 20s, early 20s. I was not even thinking anything about any of this work. Like I was working at advertising and whatever. And I had
Mhm.
this really strange dream, and it was so vivid that we were all around our fire and that people were taking their suits off, their human
Yeah,
suits,
they're
and
Egger
they were
suits.
throwing them by the fire. And I
Mm.
remember being repulsed by it at first. I was like, why are they taking their skin off? And then they were like, so it was black, brown, all the different colors, right? All the suits, and they just kept throwing them without discard. Like they just threw them down, and I was like, why are they throwing them down? And I was confused, but the idea there was not that they were discarded, they didn't need them anymore because they were back with source of whatnot, right? So they were
Mhm.
showing me
Mhm.
that we were more than just our
Our costumes.
right. However, whenever I look at that dream and then and it took me till like today, maybe. I mean, I remember that dream coming up a lot in this work. One of the themes of this work that we like to do on the show is remind people that while it is amazing to go and connect to source like you had shared a little while ago, and that spirit really was telling you, having come through to you, it is also important for us to really recognize that we came here to have this embodied experience, and that message, I feel like, well, that many more humans need to know that. And that the grounding is, again, I'm paraphrasing all the things that you said, but that is really what um, this whole, like the whole show has always been about, right? Like, it's just really cool to hear you say those things and have spirits say those things through you. And I, when I got that message with the dream and the image right now, what came up for me was is like, this is also how, again, how you will navigate the next phase of how we exist here on Earth with Gaia, Mother Gaia. And so we really need to be listening full heartedly to our bodies and to love them wholeheartedly too, to work with them, because this is the whole experience.
Yes,
And
and that's the biggest part of the experience, and we like to ignore the body.
it's
Yeah.
not the time anymore. And also the healing is available when we can have people like you with who so courageously have stepped forward to share your beautiful work, or like the
Yes.
chica that was on last, right? The we can now seek to understand more about what our bodies are telling us in a different way. Um, and
I
it's available. The other thing that I got too was that I felt very proud to have my emerald crystal in my heart. It was like, oh, look what I got. This is so cool. And I felt like I wanted to show it up and I wanted to feel it. And I was like, look at you. How pretty are you? Like, I just felt so like joyful that like, I was like, oh, hello. You were always meant to be right here. Maybe you always have been, but I just felt so proud of this emerald crystalline piece in my heart. I still feel it. Like, it's like, oh, oh, there you are, which is
Mhm.
very beautiful. I mean, I was smiling, like I was like, hey. So that was really magical as well.
Mm.
Perfect. I mean, that's that energy of joy, right? So that's
Yes.
when you have your heart walls down, you can feel joy. When
Mm.
I had my heart wall, so that was a part of my process. I had to
Mhm.
tear down those heart walls, and that became joy. Like joy is how you do that. So I
Yes.
love that you're telling me that that was the energy that you were having from that crystal, because that's exactly what the energy was supposed to be, was to bring
Oh,
you that
wow.
joy and that excitement. And that's what breaks down those heart walls, is being able to be in that state of joy, which before, when I was in my pain state, I didn't even know what joy was. I couldn't explain it. I was like, what the heck is it? And now when you're able to open your heart and allow those walls to come down, you can have that beautiful experience like you just did.
I I always talk about how the verse in the Bible says rejoice, which means that we've been in joy before in remembrance of me. And I believe that the remembrance is to be remembered with our community, with the oneness, right? To be remembered or member of community of oneness. And then of me also means that God in ourselves, and that we can easily access this joy. But the biggest word there is the rejoice, right? Rejoice. We've been in joy
Mm-hmm.
before. We just needed to remember.
Yes. We're missing the RE in a lot of things here. We need to
Yeah.
remember, reclaim,
Recall.
recall, renounce. Okay.
Yep, those REs. Yep, very
Yep.
much, very much. Yeah, and that energy.
That was beautiful. A lot of comments, and they're very long.
Oh, that's funny.
Plus, I've got way too many lights to read them all.
Let's see.
Um,
A huge beacon of energy, radiating in and out of true love and divine gratefulness. I did want to come back. Didn't I did want to come back, but the beacon is still here. Oh, cute. Rewoo. I like
Re-woo.
that. I like that.
We're
Um,
going to keep re-wooing because woo is the acronym for Whispers of Oneness.
I like that. Thank you. This is very peaceful for sure. Thank you, Rama. I totally needed a chakra alignment, still feeling things running.
Running.
You know, the
Wow.
chakras is one of those things that we see throughout ancient wisdom and in all different writings across many different modalities or whatnot. And you see this, and I think people, you see the diagram of the chakras or you see the colors, or people are like, I'm gonna balance my chakras. And I remember when I first told my husband, and this was 10 years ago, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna balance my chakras. And he's like, what are your chakras? And he was always like walking around saying funny. But I said, no, people are going to be talking about this in 10 years. Mark my words. I always used to tell them that. Mark my words. But I think because the popularity of the words now, I think people are kind of glossing over this really important piece of these energy centers that we really held. And instead of really working with them, I feel like they're kind of getting lost in some of the information, if you will. So I
Yes.
loved that you took us through and had us run it. I mean,
Yeah, truly
um,
run it. I mean,
yeah,
that's the difference, right?
clockwise and counterclockwise with the, Infinity Eight and how they're
Mhm.
really supposed to. And I love that it was focused in this part of the body, which is again that message of embodiment here and grounding.
Mhm.
Are y'all hearing the whispers here?
I'm hearing the whispers through you. I'd like to see if Rama has some whispers from
Yes.
it.
Well, I'm just picking up on so many things that she put out.
I know, my goodness. Well,
Yeah.
I'm sensing that the whole call is very quiet right now, and I am sensing that they've really received a true transmission here. Remind me what the P stands for. It's
Purpose.
connecting,
So
connecting.
it was not purpose, but it is
They gave both, right?
yeah,
Oh, it was passion and
passion.
was it perception? Now I can't even remember what they said.
Hmm, okay.
I think what was it? I don't remember now.
Hmm.
Sorry.
It's
It
channeled
came
for
through and now I can't
sure.
remember.
Yeah, it starts with connecting, you know.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It
I'm
definitely was
gonna
passion.
revisit this one.
Yeah.
because I'm really spacey right now, and I love
Projection.
that.
Me too. Me too, actually. But
Is it projection?
Projection.
Someone
I
might have
think
it.
so. I think that is
Yeah.
projection. Yeah, I think it is
And someone
projection
else
because
wrote
you're
projection
projecting
too.
your energy out. Yeah,
Yes,
that
that's how I
yep,
envisioned it
projection.
either.
Yep, that's the
Yeah.
one. They
Oh,
gave
I
me
bet you are.
passion and projection, so that even made it confusing for me. Like, pick a P. But I think it was both. So both of them, that passion and that
Projecting your
projection of your
passions out.
passion.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I want
Mm.
to I want to come back to the emotions, and I know we don't have much time, but I think with the whole embodiment and so much, and I think you guys mentioned that with um, off-world beings and the Octurians and we are in this physical form, but this isn't, we are brought into this body to have emotions and to have experiences. And I think because it's not our natural state to have emotions, that we have a hard time with them. And
Mhm.
that's why it gets stuck in our body because we haven't learned how to see
Yes.
them, feel them,
Yes.
release them, move on, because we get caught in our story, we get caught in our trauma, we get caught
Yes.
in those things that cause that to be stuck in our bodies, which then causes the pain, which causes the disease, all that kind of stuff that happens. And I feel that is
Love that.
again a reason why we have to be embodied, because that is going to help us move that energy through and to have, people are like, I don't want to have this, but to have gratitude that we have experiences where we get to have emotions, because holy
Mhm.
camole, can you imagine going through life with you just like every day is the same? Nothing exciting is happening, nothing bad's happening. I'm just sitting here. Like, that would be awful. We did not come here for that. We came here for the full experience.
Yeah.
I can see myself raising my hand for that for sure. I'd be like, I'll go.
But
Yeah.
it sometimes is a little more intense than we signed up for, I think.
Oh yeah. I mean, no, when we're there, we know all the intensity. In fact, we try to
We try to numb out the intensity.
no,
Yes.
we tried to add more to, like, in other words, we're like, I'm gonna fix this. I'll do this and this and this and this with karma, and so we'll add more things into our karmic basket, if you will, and then our guides would be like, no, no, hold on, let me take this marble out and this one, and then we come in here and we're like, oh,
Yeah.
it's a lot denser.
Yeah.
And I do think that there are things that are meant to be on our path because we need to experience that. But with my work with people and bringing them into their highest timeline, is that some of those things, the way we've experienced them, is not how we had to experience them.
Oh,
Like, we can
beautiful.
come into it from a higher place. Like, we experience that and we might have that, but then we can release it. Like I mentioned, you might have that experience, but now you can say, yeah, I had that experience. This is what I learned from it, because that's what we're here to do, is to learn from what's happening to us. And I can release it so it doesn't get stuck in my body. And I can see how this is going to be bringing me into my next step, my next stage, and really coming at everything with curiosity versus like, another bad thing happened to me today, kind of thing that
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
oh, what
yeah.
what was that for? Yeah.
Yeah, we create our lives in each moment. There's a
Mhm.
question on the chat that I think you can easily address. How do you handle it when you feel the physical
Space.
space where you live isn't where you'd like to be?
Oh, interesting.
Mhm. When the physical space, so like
Yeah,
your
so in other
home,
words,
your
they're
body.
suffering in some way and they
Yeah.
choose not to suffer or
Yeah.
not to have that pain.
And I read that as, is that your physical space, like your address or
No, I
your
think that means
body?
their body.
Okay.
Okay. Um, so
Yeah, you're right.
I think people understand that like we have expectations, and expectations are one of the hardest things to allow us to feel peace. And we're
Mm.
often caught in the situation of what we want and what we don't want. And so that's really, if to be in a oneness with our bodies, to feel connected, to feel aligned, to feel healed, we have to spend that moment in the present, like really feel into that moment, because the struggle, the suffering is that like, I want this, I don't want this. That's where we're in the middle of the struggle, right? Because it's always like, get rid
Yeah,
of this or keep this, or I want this, or this isn't
right,
happening.
right.
and we have
Yes.
that expectation. And so putting yourself in that present moment, that's the reason I say put your hand on your heart, hand on your, belly, breathe in, send love, because that
Mhm.
pulls you into that present moment, which then allows your body to hear you and to connect with you. And then you have that vibration and that frequency where pain and suffering and all of those things can exist because you are in the joy state. You're in that high frequency state. And the
Yeah.
more you can program yourself to do that as a way of working through with the experience that you might be having, the easier that state becomes. And so I would
Mhm.
just say be present, allow yourself to not jump into the anxiety, the fear, the what I want, what I don't want kind of state, and just be one with the experience you're having in that very moment.
Yes, it's that going back to that presence. So
Mhm.
it's fascinating to me. I feel like in the last couple years I've really made the leap from, it's like, well, I can deal with the emotional stuff, but I don't know how to deal with the physical stuff. And
Mhm.
now I feel like no, it's the same. And pain is pain, whether it's anxiety or you jammed your thumb, right?
Yeah.
Like it might be it's that transient moment where you hone in on this focus of it and you experience this wrongness
Mhm.
in a way. And then you try to run from it, and then you try to fight, and then you make this whole other persona in the story about, you know, healing and blah, blah, blah. I mean, it's
Mhm.
like those are tangents off of what we actually are, which are these
Yeah.
infinite beings that can simply experience in each moment as long as we don't get too attached to that story and that moment and that narrative.
Mhm.
That's
Absolutely.
kind of awesome and profound. Thanks for pulling that through us both.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
because I'm just like, wow, everything is not as it really appears to be on this planet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow,
That's
how
cool.
beautiful. I really enjoy your energy. It's just, sometimes a speaker does it's not what they say, it's who they are.
It really is about who you're
What's that about?
about who you're
She's like,
being.
Um,
she's like, stop talking, Jenna. It's getting long
No,
today.
no, no. I'm sorry. I have to pick up my son. I have a strict like time, and I want to make sure that we give the opportunity for people to figure out to learn how they can work with you. I was like, I think
Yeah,
she's forgetting.
she's
yeah.
forgetting that we actually have an offer here. Wait a
Yeah.
second. Oh no. Oh well, we figure out that later. Let me share the offer
I
first.
haven't learned how to telepathically send messages to my person here.
I know. Seems
And
like I'm better at
I've tried to
collecting for the
chat her
galactic
before.
than Lianka.
I've tried to chat her before during the show and that doesn't work. So I was like, ah.
Yay.
Rama,
So
can you go ahead and go through this? Thank you.
Yeah, so people can find me on my website at healingwordswithrama.com. So I'll just put that out there as well. Healingwordswithrama.com is how you can find me. And this is the Quantum Soul Evolution Package. And I put this together. So uh, much like what we just experienced, I have three separate MP3s, so audios, where I walk you through different healing activations. And so the first is releasing the bonds that bind. And I brought this into this order for a reason. So releasing the bonds that bind. So that's clearing those cords, those contracts, those vows, those ancestral things that you might have brought into your life, those timeline things, those past lives, all the stuff that maybe you brought in that you now need to release so that you can no longer be holding on to that energy and that frequency, so you can raise your energy and your frequency. So it's really allowing yourself to release those. Again, we do everything with love. So you're releasing all of those energies with love because you're no longer needing them in this current state, in this timeline that you're experiencing. So
Mhm.
that's the first one, releasing the bonds that bind. And then the second one, and I know your speakers have talked about this today, but this is also something that's been coming through for me a lot, is the DNA. So release, working on that dormant DNA and bringing in energetic alignment. So this is another activation where we go in and the guides come in through this. The Octurians have been the ones that have kind of been leading these DNA activations. So it's another multidimensional healing activation. We're working on the DNA. And with each DNA strand, there's a different activation in a
Oh,
different level
beautiful.
of what they're bringing
Wow.
in within your gifts opening, within your experience, and so forth. So it's really allowing you to bring in all of that energy that has been waiting, that's all there for you, but maybe you haven't been able to bring into your reality yet. And then the last one is a highest timeline embodiment activation. It's similar to what we just went through. So you could have this and keep this. It wasn't called CPR when I first came up with this, but now that's going to be the new name of it. But
I love
and
it.
it's really just bringing in that energy of bringing you into that embodiment, that feeling in your body, that safety, that connection, allowing you to feel that joy and that receiving energy. So it is just bringing you into that timeline where anything is possible and you can be your own divine healer, and healing is, completely accessible to you. So
Fabulous.
also, if you do an upgrade,
Yes.
if you do
Okay.
an upgrade, I'm offering a 60-minute session with me.
Oh,
And
lovely.
so this
Wow.
is something that I have never done on a show before. So,
Thank you.
it's at a
Yeah.
greatly reduced price. If you wanted to upgrade and have a session with me, then that would be something that we'd be able to look at all the things that are going on with you, have the guides and angels come through, see how we could, work on your energy. I have, the guides sometimes come through and give you messages in addition. So
Wow.
it's all different kinds of really beautiful experiences. So yeah, whatever you're looking at, what you're needing, they will address.
You
Mhm.
know, I always tell the people that are listening that, because I work with the Akashic Records, and I'll talk about the Akashic Records, and then we'll have a speaker that talks about the Akashic Records, like maybe even right after me. But because we all have a unique signature resonance, what someone will receive from me will be different from that they receive from, and we could be saying the exact same thing, but our ability to receive from different individuals is because we have different signature resonances. And so this is the beauty of having, um many people talk about some of the same things, because this is the truth, right? And we all have pieces of it. So if you feel called to work with you, or if someone feels called to work with you, they should really lean in. And also, because she gave us this beautiful offering at a very discounted price, so we're so grateful for that too,
Yeah.
especially for those sessions, because those I have a feeling are going to book up pretty quickly, so make that decision if you'd like.
Yeah. Yeah. These offers, in a lot of cases, are only open through the summit and the week after. So please make it a priority if you do want one of these sessions. We have literally twisted these people's arms and asked for the best of the best and what's the greatest deal that they can offer us so that we can do it just for a treat for you so that
Right.
you can, select more and try and have a buffet of conscious healing.
But also be respectful of their time and
Mhm.
the things that they put
Yes.
forth, because obviously we want to make sure that they know that this is all in integrity. The other thing I want to point out too is that I always want to say, I say this every summit.
Mm.
The very first session that I ever got, I sold like, I mean, I was younger or whatever, and I was like, I never thought that I would ever get a session. None of this stuff was
Oh. Hmm.
whatever. And I think I sold some purses, like some old coach purses, and I was like, I could either go to dinner with my friends and go drinking or whatever, or I could get a session. And I got a session that day, and when I finally had my session, it changed my life. So there's just fun little ways that, beautiful ways that you can choose these things. And if you're feeling called, please do. Like, it can change everything. And
Yeah.
it really did for me. I
Yeah.
could have been out with my friends, or I could have changed my life.
Well, I mean, I've had one session with one shamanic speaker on this series, and it changed the whole trajectory of something.
Yeah,
You
that's
know,
true.
I truly feel Quentin changed
Yeah, that's
everything,
true.
right?
So,
So, it's like follow what you're called to and choose what you want to choose. And yeah, that's all I have to say.
Yeah,
Also,
If
I
you,
have the same experience. So, like I said, I had that
yeah,
one medical
that's right.
intuitive session, and then like my whole world changed. Like
Right?
all the guides
Yes,
started
that's
coming
right.
in, and my gifts started opening up. So, yeah, it's amazing when you allow that stuff to come through.
Absolutely.
hmm
Also, we do a two pay for anything that's over $200. So if this is calling you, and you can break that up into a two pay as well
yeah,
for the upgrade.
absolutely. And we try to do that as often as we can. So, uh, any parting words, Rama?
Mm. I just want everyone to know how loved they are by the divine and that we all have the ability to heal ourselves and and that is not making light of what anyone's going through because I know a lot of people are
hmm
having serious issues with their body and symptoms, but that the divine and our divine love and our divine light can heal everything. We can heal. And so just to know and believe and trust that you are that powerful.
Yes.
Oh,
No,
bless.
thank
Thank
you.
you so much. A couple of things in the chat. It says, thank you, Rama. Such a beautiful activation. Um, thank you, Rama, from the Oh, this is beautiful. Thank you for this beautiful call and this amazing experience. And that is from Emily on the YouTube chat. And then um, let's see, lots of hearts coming through. And then some people talking about their experience with the activation. Beautiful. And we'll make sure to get those sent over to Rama as well.
We'll try,
Awesome.
try
Thank
to
you so
grab
much.
some of
Yeah.
those. Thank you. My goodness, that was such a great. I mean, sometimes there's a meditation and but then there's an activation that changes everything,
I
and
know.
you can always tell.
Because the call feels different.
Yep,
Yeah.
because the call
Mhm.
feels so
Calm, peaceful.
calm,
Have a
peaceful.
good one.
Thank you so
Thank you
much.
all. Thank you.
If you are looking for the link, you can find it at houthustle.com/live. That's for her offer and all the other speaker offers as well. After Friday, which is tomorrow, our last day, you have 7 days to continue to watch this series, but you can buy the VIP pass.
That's right.
Tell them about the VIP pass.
Yes, again, I always say not only do you get this summit, but you get the 7 seasons from before, and you get all of the summits that we'll do in the future. And we do about a summit every quarter. So you can grab that VIP, that you have the access to the interviews for a lifetime. And we always believe that the information builds upon each other. So grab the VIP if you feel inclined. You can find the information there on the live page, and it says upgrade to VIP. If you don't know where the live page is, then you can just start by, if you're listening on YouTube, make sure to sign up for the summit, all the bells and whistles, and you can do that at howhustle.com/summit, and that'll lead you to the live page.
Mhm.
Jenna, the other thing that I want to remind you about is there you go.
Our our little drawing
Yay!
that's getting bigger as our little notes get in there. What you have to do, Leonka will
Yeah.
explain to you.
So we want to incentivize you to make a comment on social media. So our social media is on TikTok or Instagram. So it's How Hustle Live or on YouTube. And you can just search How and Hustle and on our channel, make a comment. Now, to make sure that we see your comment, just take a screenshot of the comment and send it to team@howhustle.com. Your name will be entered into the cauldron. And every time you do it, every day, you get another name added. So that means you can get multiple entries. And then if we choose your name, you will be entered to win a session for with either Jenna or myself. And those are worth about $400+.
We
So
will
it's,
email you back
yeah.
from that email that you sent
No, yeah,
to
you don't
team
have,
at How Hustle, by the way. But we are going to draw at the end of the day. So get your entry in before the last call
tomorrow.
tomorrow, please.
Yes, this
But
time tomorrow. So,
yes. And then we can send you calendar links to schedule
yay.
your session. We also have two coupon codes that are good through Saturday, actually. I just saw a text message that said that they're open through Saturday. So that is my course that I did before Lianka got together with me called Clear the Noise. It's called Be Magic, Clear the Noise. It's 30 modules, or
Oh,
it's 30 audios, 10
wow,
modules,
Jeanette.
and they have white noise in them. To at the a time I was just starting to get the, as you know, I did
The
the
downloads.
frequencies course, and we did the chakras course, and those are sound audios. Well, before those Hertz courses, I was into white noise because I had so much noise in my head
Yeah.
that white and pink noise were the way out. So I did a 5D activation with some of these white noise frequencies. And it was just one of those moments I was called and I was in a channeling mode. And so I put together, there's actual activations. Each of them, if you go to the page, you can see what the various activations are, but it's 10 modules. It used to sell for over $300. And it's just was one in our archives when we started to pull out things. And I was like, this is a really good course for
Yeah.
those people that especially have noise.
Yeah.
So it's a good stepping point. Plus, you kind of see the difference between where I was and where I am now, which is kind of a cool frequency shift as I was listening to them, but it's still a good course. So
Yeah.
that's called Be Magic, and you can use the code MAGIC26 for half off that. I think now it's at a $37 or $47 offer. There's also my dragon voyages, which are these journeys into the playland of galactic healing, galactic awakening, galactic timeline jumping. And the Arcturian channel that speaks through me, Armetis, has written up the information at the top of the Dragon Voyages. That is half off. I misspoke yesterday, and it's $22 today. So if you were lucky and got it early, good job.
That's right. So you use the coupon code.
Dragons 26. They're both huge on the live page. And they're both remarkable courses and definitely worth $20.
Absolutely. Also, it's a great way that you can support the show. We always said that we
Yes.
want it to be a free resource, and we will always continue to have the summits and our live show every Tuesday and Thursday, inviting you to join us at 9 a.m. Pacific. Be a free resource, and we always make an offer, but that is because we are able to give you these resources, and we'll still be here even with the community. And you can join us on the community at community.houthustle.com. That is where we exist on an app outside of all the social medias where we can talk about some of this really cool woo stuff. And it's non-judgmental. You guys make up the best part of this community. So I want to invite you to continue to experience all that with us. And so it's just another great way, again, by doing, choosing Jeanette's stuff or some of the chakras or upgrading to VIP is just a great way to support the show as well. A portion of the proceeds also goes to support women and youth related causes. Right now, we're supporting rising up.org. It's an organization that was started by children or students, children at the time, that they take in laptops and tablets to be refurbished to give to other people in need for the use in wellness and education. And if you have any suggestions for any other women or youth related causes that you would like us to consider supporting, you can send those to team@howthustle.com, as well as any other questions or how you're
Yes.
feeling or whatever. Tell us
Or in the community.
tell us funny things. I don't care. You can send all of that or put it in the community, and you'll find all of this information on our live page. With that, we want to say we love you, love you, love you. And we're How It Hustle, reminding
Reminding you
you
to take a little time
to
to
enjoy
enjoy
the
the woo.
woo. Have a great one.
See you tomorrow.